Hey, everybody. Welcome. Yes. Whew. It's been T, we got you. I'm gonna be right. I know you'll be right here. I got you. Yeah, this is called humidity in Texas. Spend 4 hours curling your hair, walk outside, and this is what happens. Oh my God, it's raining. And it's hot. And it's like 70-something degrees in December. But I'm here. I'm here. I made it. Let's see. So y'all just have to look at the Texas frizz for tonight. Indigo, thank you for being here. Marie. Oh, T is on her way. Nico, thank you. Life on Mars, thank you. Katie, hey, how are you doing? Red, thank you for being back here. I appreciate you so much. And now, since we have been waiting, and I just got in, catching a breather, I'm going to bring T up. Hello. Can you?
Oh no! Hang on a minute.
Can you hear me?
Hello. Hang on.
I just want to make sure your audio was okay. Hey, Violet.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just trying to do my description.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yes, I did hear a time. I just wanted to make sure our sounds were.
Hello. Sorry, I'm with you.
No, you're fine. Hey, I have to I just walked in, so I'm trying to. Girl, this hair.
I know.
So hot.
Hang on 1 sec. There we go. I think that's
How
it.
am I feeling tonight, Marie? I am feeling extremely sore, extremely tired, and extremely excited about this.
Oh, you look absolutely stunning, and I really appreciate you coming straight from the party to do this with me. You know, you didn't have to do that.
No, anytime. Anytime.
I haven't been awake very long.
Well, I slept last night. I slept last night.
That's good.
6 hours. That's it. That's got to be right now. That's got to be a record for me.
Yeah. How are you feeling? How are you feeling in general, though? Are you okay, or?
I'll be okay. I'll be there. I mean, I have no choice, right?
Yeah. We have to keep going, don't we?
We have to keep going.
Yeah,
we do. Yeah, we do. And unfortunately, with this crap, I don't know what is wrong with my cameras. But why? That's why.
I look really pale. I'm like white. Like really
I know mine was like acting weird too. I don't know. Hey, we got a new member. We have a new advocate.
Yay!
Hey, or you do. One of us. I'm happy though. Yay.
That's a little bit better. I'm just trying
to sort the lighting out. Hello, Journey.
Hey, Journey. Yeah, I'm coming to you in the future, Katie Light.
I know you are.
It's a great day in Australia.
I feel better. Oh, I know. Trust me when I tell you not feeling good. Yeah, know something about that.
Yeah. So, yeah. So you're saying it was your last day at work, or?
So,
what's going on with you?
Tonight was our 20th annual Christmas party.
Yeah.
So, which means, I mean, we've been open like 20 and a half years. And yeah, because of my health and this whole situation, yeah, it's bittersweet. I'm still the CEO, I still own the company, I still run the company, but I'm not doing the actual work anymore. I actually had to step down. And it's a little bit of bittersweet moments. I mean, I'm still going to be up there with the residents. I'm not ever going to leave them, but it's just, good night, Mandy. Thank you. It was bittersweet staying in my office, like looking around.
Yeah, I bet. It's a long time to work somewhere, and you put your heart and soul into it, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I own it, but it's just like, and I had to leave my dog, Luna, and I'm like, I was crying on the way out. I was like,
yeah.
But
you're so strong, honestly.
I'll be back there. I'll be back there more than they want me there, but
I'm sure they won't be able to keep you away.
Just when I can get feeling better, because right now I'm not able to do it, and I know that, and that's not good for them. So
yeah, you'll get there. You will get there. I believe you will.
I cannot believe I spent 6 hours trying to curl this hair. That's how long it took me. I walked outside in 1 second, it went frizz.
Oh, that's what happens to me because I've got really fine hair and it just falls out. But yeah, humidity sucks. But you still look absolutely gorgeous. I loved your outfit. You sent me a picture and your boots and
Girl,
everything.
I had a Marilyn Monroe moment. I didn't know they had the fan on in the kitchen and the floor. And I walked by and my white went, woo! I was like, oh, Lord, it's just right.
Oh, I've got someone so hey Neverin Aaron. Nice to see you. I'll just check who's in my chat because I just put it on my channel as well.
Hey Neverin Aaron, how are you? Welcome in.
I think that's the only person from my chat. I don't know how it works. So I'm sorry to anyone if I don't answer questions and stuff, but when I'm doing a live with someone, it's really hard for me to like.
That's
I
me.
try
that's
not
why I don't. Well,
yeah.
Red's got my chat. That's it. I don't have to.
Yeah.
She'll star what needs to be starred and
yeah,
put up what needs to be put up.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. So how do we want to do this? Should we just pick up from where I left off?
Yes, I actually really wanted to do that. Everybody, if you want to know the first part, go back and watch the first part, even though you have to like follow us around for about 3 different channels before we found a place to land that night or that morning. Thank you.
I think I deleted the other ones on mine, so it's all just
I
there.
haven't. Oh, you just the one?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I went on manage videos and deleted those ones just so yeah.
I know because it was such a mess. It was like follow the leader, but that was
I went on StreamYard to just now, and it said, "Oh, your video and audio is not working in your browser," and I thought, "No, this is the same thing that happened to you." And it said, "Try restarting your."
Brian told me to download Firefox, and I did, and now it's working.
Oh well, I just restarted my computer, and now it's okay. But I spent hours. I was up till midnight last night.
How are you?
Midnight trying to work out OBS and
that is hard.
Streamlabs as well.
Streamlabs I downloaded, but I don't know how to use it.
Yeah. So and then I downloaded Prism, and then I was like, oh my god, it's nearly midnight. I need to go to bed.
Journey,
so blame it on the moon.
Oh, it is a full moon. I've got pictures on my way home.
Beautiful, lovely. Well, it's
Journey.
11:15 in the morning here.
Oh, it's 9:15 at night here, so we're good.
It's Saturday so night. True, Journey.
Thank you, Journey. You are too, Journey. You do a lot.
Yeah, doing an important job.
Yes, very.
And I want to catch up with you soon, Journey. Actually, because I've been looking into something else with that lady that we were.
It's so hot.
We went to the FBI. Have you not got a fan? I've got a fan.
Yeah, I've got one, and I fixed it. I didn't know if you could hear it or not.
No, I can't hear it.
Oh my gosh!
In fact, I'm going to put mine on.
It is so these stick between this Indigo. Thank you. I wish that was true.
She is. Not really. Absolutely.
I think I care. I don't know if it's possible to care too much, but I think I do sometimes. You know.
I actually got told that by my late. I suppose I call him my late partner. I don't know. Jake's dad. He said you love me too much. And I didn't need to smother him or anything. He'd go out off fishing with the boys. Like he did his own thing. We had our own lives, but then our life together. But yeah,
I streamed from my job. They all gave me permission to stream tonight, and so I went on there and streamed. So I wanted people to see what I really do in real life. Like I don't just sit behind a camera on YouTube.
I saw a little bit of it.
I have a job.
It was really nice.
And I have real residents and real psychiatric residents that really had nobody come to their Christmas party tonight.
You can't hear it?
So
what can't
and
you
it's
hear,
a full moon, and they were not even in rare form. They were not even acting out. And that's what made me realize something was wrong.
Yeah, right.
Not one person showed up. I was so sad for them. But they didn't care. It's like they don't care. They're used to being thrown away. The fans, can you hear? Oh, the fans. Y'all can't hear the fans? Okay, great. Because I'm dying over here. Between steroids and humidity.
Yeah. You all right?
I'm hot. Okay? I'm not used to this. Like, I'm not used to this. I'm used to being cold all the time. And now that I switched to this autoimmune, and these steroids are making me sweat to death.
Oh, right. Okay, I see. Right.
And it's 100% humidity
there, isn't it? Right. Oh my God.
Hey, Swedish Lena, how are you, honey?
Oh, hey. How are you doing?
But so anyway, so we have a part 1. and that is going to be on both our channels. Y'all can go back and catch up there. But yes, thank you, Journey, about the fan, because I'm burning up and I got to have it. And my hair is a frizzball, but that's okay. But we're going to start now, because where we left off is where we're going to start pick it back up, and then T is going to pull it all together of what she has learned from all the memories that have come back.
And I did a bit of that last time at the end of part one, sorry.
Right.
Yeah, so I think, so quick recap, I guess, is grew up in Glasgow. Mum had an affair. They broke up. Me and my sisters were forced against our will to go and live with our mum down in England. Abusive, alcoholic stepdad. I'm missing anything out there, so there's lots of little bits to it, and lots of bits I left out as well. And then I guess, like, so both parents are autistic, my real dad and my mum, so we didn't really have much guidance or I don't know. And there was a few bits that I missed out actually during my time living with my mum. Was I did mention that they had their own kind of, oh, hi Becky, and hi Lena, I can't remember if I said hello to you. They had their own separate, like, living room, their own lounge, and they would be in there and lock themselves in there. But also another thing that I thought of was that we were never encouraged. We were told to go out and work because they wanted half of our wages. You know, like, I was 14, I had my first job at a hotel cleaning rooms, and I'd get like 20 quid a day. So that's what, $30 or something like that, $35 a day. And I'd do 2 days. I'd do the Saturday, Sunday, and they'd take half of it off me, like a 14, you know. I was already doing all my own washing and cooking the meals for the kids and stuff. I'm thinking, come on, you know, but I guess it taught me responsibility of money. I don't know. But the other thing was we were never encouraged in our education. We were always like, well, it's too, we can't afford to put you in uni, you know, in university. And it's like, and we felt this massive kind of, I know it was all of my sisters, and eventually my brother and my other sister as well that grew up, like, we were never encouraged to have an education. It was always like, oh, we can't afford it. But then they're drinking a bottle of Bacardi every night and smoking cigarettes all day, you know. And it was just like, really it was very hard to respect them. And so then when they would tell us off or whatever, we'd just be like, well, screw you, you know.
That's a hard thing to take.
So I realized that that's also affected me later on, but I'll go back to that. So then moved out when I was 15, had like my second sort of serious boyfriend, was engaged, broke up with him, and then moved in with another lady, then met my first sort of abusive relationship, which went on for 3 years. Every single kind of abuse. There was financial, sexual, emotional, psychological. Have I covered them all? I think so.
Yeah.
But
I like to the point where I'm telling you that touched my heart so much is Jake. So.
Yeah, I know. He's a blessing. He is. And got out of that by running away to. Oh, thanks, Indigo. Sorry. Sorry, I shouldn't look at the chat.
I know.
A toxic mix of neglect and exploitation in a way. You're such a strong woman. Thank you.
She's a very strong woman.
I tried to be. So I escaped from him by being helped by a couple of ladies that worked in the hotel with me, because he used to take all my wages off me. But he didn't know I had tips, like cash tips, so I was saving them, giving them to the girls, and I eventually escaped by flying off to Portugal with them. And then what did I get? I told you about there was like another couple of abusive relationships.
Yep, and we got to his dad, and then his dad
moved to Australia.
Like, that was your dream, and you said you were going to do it, and you did it, and I'm so proud of you.
And I didn't know how I was going to be able to stay here, and ended up meeting him a couple of weeks after I arrived here, and still here 14 years later with a son. His son's dad passed away in an accident. And
I think that's where we stopped. That's where we stopped, because we didn't get into that part of it.
Right. So Thank you, Katie. Like, yeah. Well, that's the thing, and that's one of the things I've learned is, you know, this, and I did a show with Reconnecting actually about generational trauma. You know, you know, if you're, my mum kind of, she grew up autistic, and her parents didn't understand her. They were constantly on her case and telling her how useless she was. She was, you know, emotionally
Hey,
abused
there's
without.
people. Thank you for coming by.
Hey, yeah, it was different back then. You know, it was after the war, and it was like, come on, just got to get on with it and toughen up and everything. And you know, they didn't really know a lot about autism and stuff like that. So I think she had a really hard time, and she still is very kind of low self-esteem and confidence and stuff like that. You know, and has always been kind of silenced. So when she met the guy that she had an affair with, he made her feel, he was exciting, he made her feel special, he made her feel sexy, which she'd never had before. You know, she started wearing the short skirts and had her hair permed and all of that. And I don't think that was control from him. He was, I guess, empowering her in her
She
head.
was finding a way.
Yeah, but she was very naive. But
Yeah.
you know, so
Yes.
I did blame my mum for a long time. I'll go into that later because I've got a list of things that I've learned.
Okay. Yeah, that's what we want to do.
Yeah.
Because my
So
ADHD and your ADHD, we're gonna be.
I know, and then the chat, and it's like,
I know. I'm
and I just
probably gonna have to
say
hide a
hello
chat
to
here in a
people.
minute.
So sorry if we're kind of sporadically going squirrel.
Because
We're just as bad as each other, aren't we?
trust me, the steroids that I'm on is like a rat on
Oh my god.
on a whatever. But I can tell you this: my brain, it makes it just keep going. It won't stop. I'm going no.
I had 4 days of being on steroids, and mate, it was just insane.
Oh my god, this is going on 2 weeks.
But I had so much energy. I remember coming on here going, I feel really, really good today. I've got loads of energy and I'm happy. And I was like, I thought it was because I was getting better. And then I stopped taking the steroids, and then I was like,
and if I stop them, oh gosh, nope.
You'll be okay. We'll all be here with you, and we'll figure it out.
We're gonna have to. We can do hard things,
Yeah.
and boy, I've learned that lately.
Yeah. And you're going to be on the other medications, so you don't know how they might, you know, lift you up.
No, that's what I'm scared. He only gave me. I just picked them up at the pharmacy, and he only gave me like 21 of these, and I'm like, am I going to get the other medication before these run out? Because I cannot do this alone. So I'm
You'll be okay. I'll be checking in on you. You'll be all right. You know, you can call me anytime.
I know.
You're going through so much.
That's okay.
But yeah. Okay, so when he died in a motorcycle accident. He was a drinker. I'd also found out I found out that he was cheating on me while I was in the UK visiting my family. And so he went off into the sunset with his new girlfriend, back up to the cattle station, and a year later he had an accident. He died.
Ever see Jake?
So he saw him the first time he saw him, he was 2 months old. He came and stayed for 2 weeks, and that's when he got the job, and he said, I want to be a family, I want to make this work. You know, it didn't work out with my last partner, and I don't see my other 3 kids. And he said, I don't want to, you know, I really want to make this work, you know. And so I was under the impression that's what he was doing. And then I found out, like, at that, when he was saying all of that to me, and I'll never make love to another woman and all of that, and leaving little love notes around the house for me to find, and you know, he'd already kissed her.
Oh,
he already knew he had feelings for her, but he was trying to be. I do believe that he, you know, I did say to him later on, I was like, you know, why did you say all that stuff to me? Why did you sort of lead me on? And he goes, I meant it at the time. And I do believe he wanted to try and do the right thing by Jake. I do. But he just fell out of love with me, I guess, you know, and I hadn't, you know, so, and I'm like, he's got his baby and everything. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so he went off into the sunset with her, back up onto the cattle ranch. But he was drinking heavily because, so I used to be the manager up there, and I still had access to the emails. So I can see what he was up to, because
I don't know what a woman, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
Well, you know, I wasn't getting any response for him. I've got his son, and I'm not getting any help financially from him, like nothing. Wow. He wasn't paying. He was paying his child support when he was in my town. I can't remember how long he was there for. It must have been about 6 months that I had to kind of put up with both of them. I'd have to drive past where they worked every day. The only pub where I used to go out for dinner once a week, you know, because there was nothing to do around there. So I'd go for dinner there, and it was her at the bar, and you know, it was just so awkward. But you know, you just gotta pull your big girl panties up
And go in
sometimes,
there.
you know. And I was working, I was breastfeeding, I was taking him to work with me, like I was doing my cleaning and everything. And you know, they were lovely around there. The country folk were really lovely, and I'd just take him with me, and I'd have like a collapsible playpen, and I'd put him in there. Or some of them would just be like, oh, just let him roam. And you know, the first time he crawled was at one of my clients' houses, and they just fell in love with him. And I'm still in touch with some of them today. So this was, yeah, and this was like, oh my gosh, so this must have been, he was so little. He was only 4 months when we first went there, I think, or two. No, it must have been 2 or 3 months. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so many beautiful moments that oh shit, here we go. He wasn't involved in.
Yeah.
I did it by myself. I went through my pregnancy by myself, which was never how I wanted it to be. You know, I wanted to have those, you know, those cute pregnancy shots with your partner. And
Right.
the nearest I got to that is what he fell as when I went up to visit him on the cattle ranch while I was pregnant, because there was a couple of times where he did communicate with me. And I went up there, and I've got some beautiful pictures. I should have sent you some photos, some beautiful pictures of me on the cattle ranch, like, because it was a coastal place, and standing on the beach with my bump, and you know, it was, oh god, my face is leaking.
That's okay. Leaking face, leaking, let it leak.
Yeah, you know, and
it has to come out. You can't keep it in.
I was so heartbroken. So heartbroken, and I could have, all of this time I could have just gone home. I could have just gone back to the UK, but I didn't want that. I couldn't be there. It was too triggering for me, and I wanted a better life for my son. It wasn't good there, you know. It's hard over there. I find it hard anyway. And I just couldn't. You know?
I'm gonna say this. Those moments that you missed, that in your mind, you know, that you wanted to happen, your son was right there having them with you. He was in you. And you know what? You know what you did? You made him a better life. You made yourself a better life. And it's hard, and we all, you know, we say it, we can do hard things. But you know what? You've done it. Look at you. I mean, look how
I know, but growing up without a family is, you know, I never wanted that for him, and it's hard, you know. So because of that, so he because he'd moved up to the cattle ranch and everything, and I'm in this town, and I had a few friends there, but I was, you know, I thought, okay, I'm going to go and move to the town where he grew up, and it's an even smaller country town, even more remote in the desert. And it's near a place called Kalgoorlie. If any Aussies know where that is, it's real, you know, red dirt everywhere, mining. Very far away. Like, so you're talking 6 hours on the train from Perth.
Wow.
Yeah, that's where he grew up. He was a bushie, but he had a beautiful, I guess she would be, his auntie. So Adam's auntie, Chrissy, and she was absolutely beautiful lady. She was like the heart of the family. You know, everyone came around her house for Christmas, their birthday. She was always baking cakes. She always had all the waifs and strays and the kids coming in, and a lot of people. It was a very small town, and a lot of people turn to drugs. There's no kind of prospects there, you know. Very simple folk, and you know, they're just doing the same thing, the same chain, you know, is happening. There's a big drug problem there and stuff, and drinking problem, because there's nothing else to do, you know.
Right.
So sometimes there would be, you know, there was a kind of, her son's girlfriend had a baby, and she was still is very addicted to meth, and you know, the baby was being neglected. So Chrissy, her name is, everyone called her Nana. Everyone called her Nana. Even her own children called her Nana, because she was this big, lovely, big, like, cuddly lady, you know, voluptuous, shall we say? And she just had all the babies and kids, and you know, she was just this open, just such a lovely lady. And so we went and stayed with her, and she adored Jake. because she knew Adam. Adam grew up around her house as well because of the situation he had at
Wow.
home, which was horrible. He lost his dad at the age of 14, you
Wow.
know. His mum's a complete narcissist, awful. Abandoned her 5 children, and only came back when the dad was dying of cancer so she could make sure she could get the money, you know.
Wow.
And one of her kids actually went missing at the age of 16 for around 17 years,
What?
right? So yeah, and she got in touch with me actually
Wow.
after 17 years, not her family. She got in touch with me. She found me. I'll tell you about that actually. So a little bit later, because it
Okay.
kind of ties in. So anyway, I've moved into this town, and so Nana lives there, and all of also her son had gone, not missing, but he disappeared when he was sort of, I think, 18 to 20, and just never came back, you know. So his cousins, he had a few
Wow.
cousins there, and we had a bit of a relationship and stuff, and they loved Jake. But I lived there for 8 months, and I think I got visited twice, you know, a couple of streets away. It was always me going around there. I don't know why. It was
Wow.
it was hard to kind of connect because we had very different lives. They'd grown up, like their generations had grown up in this small town, and I'd grown up in Glasgow, and I was a bit more like, not meaning to sound horrible or anything, but more like traveled, and
Yes.
just didn't know what to talk about with them. You know, we didn't have anything in common, apart from talking about family and stuff, which we did, but I didn't know any of them, and you know, so it was kind of awkward. But I was just trying to find a family for Jake. All this time, no contact from his dad. This is before he died. This is during the year before he died. Also, his mum lived there, who
Hello.
Adam had always said to me, "Don't let our baby anywhere near her. She's bad news," right? So at this point, I've already found out that he's been lying about a lot of stuff. He cheated on me, you know. So I'm like, well, I'm going to go and find out for myself, because I don't know what he says, if it's real or not, you know. He's bullshitting me. He's bullshitted his girlfriend and told her this whole story about how I'm a bad mum and all of this. So I'm
Right.
going to find out for myself. And I knew where she lived, because there's not many houses in the town, and he described it to me. So I just rocked up at the house with Jake. He was probably, I don't know, 4 months old. I was still breastfeeding. I breastfed for 2 years and proud of it, right? So and that was because he stopped. So I knocked on the door, and her husband came out, and he goes, "Oh, hi," like, looks a bit confused. And I said, "Hi, my name's T, and I was with Adam for, I think, 4 years." And I said, "And I believe your name's Harry." And I said, and this is your grandson." And he's like, "Oh, okay, well, you better come in then." You know, they're like, "What?" And they knew nothing about him, you know. So I went in and I met his mum, and that was an experience. She was immediately trying to intimidate me.
Of course, you're getting in her territory.
She said, "How old is he? He's 4 months, and you're still, no, I think he must have been 6 months. You're still breastfeeding him? Like, what are you doing? You know, if you're still breastfeeding him, next time I see you, you'll have me to deal with." And I'm like,
Oh, hello.
like, I was in shock, and I was quite shy then, and I was just sort of like, my head down, and like, oh, okay, like, didn't really know how to react. I was just like shocked. And then, you know, if Jake cried or whatever, she's like, "No, don't let him get away with that," you know. I'm thinking, what the fuck? Like, he's a kid, you know, like, kids. He didn't even really cry. It was just, I don't know. I think it was when the dogs were coming towards him, because he was non-verbal till he was 4. But if he saw something and he got excited, he'd kind of hit it, you know, like, but not meaning like in a mean way. He would just, you know, like this, you know, hitting it kind of thing. He wanted to touch it. I think that's what he did actually. He wasn't crying, because he didn't cry until he was about 6 months old. He never cried as a baby. Never
Wow.
did that. You know, like newborn babies where they go, like that. He never did that, you know.
Wow.
But I was just always with him. I co-slept with him, and like, I just knew when he'd awake, you know. He would wake up every couple of hours, like till the age of 4, and we found melatonin. He was awake every 1 to 2 hours. I was very sleep deprived. So anyway, I sat around there with her. it was an experience. We left, and I thought, okay, he was, oh, what did she, no, that was another time. Sorry. Yeah, that was me trying to have a family. And I sunk into a big depression. I was like, what do I do here? New baby. And I felt so incredibly alone. He started, so I thought, what can I do? What can I do? I don't want to be alone. And Jake got to about probably around just over a year. No, sorry. I can't remember when it was, but it was just before he was about to start walking. I'd had an ex-boyfriend. And he was a bit, I don't know, he was a bit weird. We weren't together very long. And I saw that he was working in Thailand, and he was looking for something to do. And I said, do you fancy coming over to Australia? Because I'd saved a little bit of money. And I said, I'll pay for your flights to come over here. Do you want to be my nanny? Because I'd visited him in Thailand on the way over to see my family the first time.
Right.
So he'd met Jake and everything, and I knew he loved kids and stuff like that. I said, do you want to be my nanny so I can go to work? Because there was a hotel looking for a cleaner. And he said, yeah, all right then. So he came over, and he was, I went to work. I was working like 8 hours a day. I'd pop home on my lunch break. And, he was a bit kind of, he didn't understand Australia and babies, and that you need to have a drink with them all the time, because it's bloody hot. And he's going out, taking him for a walk in the stroller with no shade on and no drink with him. And I'm like, oh my God, it isn't ideal. But he was a very strange character, which I know now that he had like mental health issues and kind of like, I don't know, narcissism, I think, because he was still in love with me. He was jealous of Adam, and he started to stir trouble up in the town for me. The town of Jake's bloody relatives and stuff. And he started telling lies to people about me and trying to stir up shit. And then he ended up leaving and didn't talk. We fell out and stuff because I caught him out on some lies. So, another person, I'm trying to trust another person, just keep getting like, let down by people that I trust and I get close to. So I just got so depressed. And I just thought I didn't want to miss Jake's first steps as well, So I quit the job and I got really, really depressed. So I got to the point where I enjoyed seeing all his little things so much. I enjoyed every precious moment with him. I took so many photos of him, every different facial expression. I loved being a mum, loved it. Every second, I was and still am absolutely besotted with him, Oh,
He's precious. He's so precious.
I miss those years as a baby, and I just got no response from Adam. Father's Day, I'd send a picture with a card or whatever to his phone, and just no response. And then I ended up, he took a phone out in my name and run up all this debt in it, and I'm thinking, oh my God, not this again,
Again, over again. Here we go.
Yeah. So it got to the point where I was so depressed. I had everything for Jake. Like I would get free stuff off the internet, and I had a little ball pit in the lounge room, and he'd play in that, and I would just lay on the sofa all day, couldn't move, like just paralyzed with depression, so bad. And I thought, I can't go on like this. I can't, I need to be there for Jake. So I decided that I'd go back to the UK just to kind of spend some time with my family, maybe for a few months, and try and get my head back together again. So I do that. I go back to the UK, and I was there for 5 days, and then I got the phone call to say that that Adam had died.
Wow.
While I'm in the UK, I was there for 5 days, and I remember getting the phone call, and I just didn't believe it. I was like, yeah, whatever, because it's April. I went, oh, April Fool's, right? Didn't believe it. I was in shock. They said, no, he's had an accident on his motorcycle, and he died. He was off road on the cattle ranch. And I remember remember going up, my sister and my mum were up in the attic, and I remember going up there to tell them, and I remember just like, I remember my whole face, you know, like the tingly going white kind of thing. And I just stood there, and I must have been kind of like, like I couldn't get my words out.
Okay, baby.
And my mum and my sister just looked at me, and they were like, what is wrong? What's going on? And I said, he's dead, you know, he's dead, he's gone.
Wow.
And they were just like, what the hell, you know? And so one of the things the cattle ranch said is that his mum, Adam's mum, wants your phone number. She wants to call you. So I gave them the number, and she called me. And do you know what the first thing she said was? No, hello. Are you okay? Who is his super with? Right? So super is your superannuation. It's in Australia, they take a certain percentage. Well, when you get paid, they also pay a certain amount of money, and it goes into like a scheme for when you retire.
Yeah.
And normally it has a life insurance policy attached to it. So she just wanted to know who that was with. You know?
That's
There's
sad.
no like, straight onto the money. And he hadn't
that's all so normal though, and that it's sickening. That has become the normal.
Disgusting. I was like, have you let his sister know? Like, oh no, they hadn't, right? So
Wow.
because they weren't talking, so she only had 2 children left that were talking to her because of all the narcissistic crap. She'd been banned from the town's post office, banned from the doctor's surgery, you know, just for causing trouble with people. Like, she's so bad. Lonely, miserable woman. Well, she has her husband who's like, I don't know. I think he's paying penance for the fact that he broke up a marriage, or what, helped him break up a marriage, and it's his comeuppance, you know. I don't know. So I was just like, what the hell, you know? I told her and everything, because I was just in shock, you know. And then I rang his sister, and I had to tell her, and I just remember her wailing down the phone. So him and his mother hadn't had a relationship. He hadn't been in touch with her for 15 years. Or 12 years, sorry, and his sister 15 years. Like, he hadn't talked to them. Yeah, he just cut off. That's how he dealt with things. He would just cut off from people, like, completely. So, and my youngest sister was going through a hard time in the UK at the time. She'd just lost her dad. She'd lost her dad when Jake was born. So Jake's almost 2 at this point. She was struggling at uni. She'd lost her dad. Didn't know what to do. And I said, do you want to come back to Australia with me? I could do with some help, you know? So she did. She came back with me. We flew back. I'd been there 5 days, flew back. And I went into, I guess, what I do is like avoidance mode. I threw myself into work. I threw myself into Vergeside collections, right? So people throw out the junk from their house, and then they put it on the street, and the council come along and collect it, right? And I would go around. I'd find out which suburbs had their collection. Yeah, grief shock. Yeah, and I would do it all day long, and I'd paint furniture and upcycle and sell stuff, and I was just doing it like freaking 8 to 10, 12 hours a day with the baby in the back and everything. I don't know. I guess I couldn't face it. One of the things that his mum did, his mum's name's Kath, and his girlfriend's name was Claire, right? So Kath got in with Claire and turned her against me, you know, because we were kind of like friends at that point, like, because I'd always been very civil with her, and, you know, accepted her as his girlfriend or whatever, and someone that loves Jake.
It's so sad to you.
It's so messed up, and I think this is another reason why I didn't grieve at first, because I had all this drama going on with his mum. She came and stayed with us once. I gave her my room. I had a beautiful big, I've got it for free, like this beautiful big wooden 4-poster bed, and I had a lovely room. I had so much lovely furniture for free. It was awesome. And I could like just pick what I wanted, you know, like there was a lot of stuff that people throw away. It's just crazy. So I gave her and her husband my room. She turned up with 2 little dogs. Like, she didn't tell me she was bringing her dogs, and she didn't tell me, like, she didn't say anything like ask if it was okay to smoke in my house. She smoked constantly. It took me 3 or 4 days to scrub the smell of the nicotine out of my walls in my bedroom. You know, it was disgusting. Again, with the dogs, Jake was still non-verbal. He was kind of like grunting and kind of noises then. And he was walking around, so he'd go up and he's excited, he'd kind of pet the dogs and stuff.
Oh.
And she went off at me and she says, if he doesn't behave how I want him to, I'm going to give him a Valium and you won't know about it.
Oh, excuse me?
I'm like, what? Get the out of my house,
Excuse me? Yeah.
Yeah. She was also saying that, me and Adam were in touch all the time. He used to call me and talk to me and say good day to me. And
right,
I knew. I know. Yeah. Just that it's that kind of like, I'm here and I'm in control and I'm, like proper narcissistic bollocks, So I was like, no, you're out. While she was there, she was saying that Adam was in contact with her. I knew he wasn't because he'd shown me a message that she'd sent him a few years back saying hello. And he wrote back to her and he said, don't ever contact me again. So I knew there was no chance that they were talking. And he hated her, absolutely hated her. So then, so I kicked her out. And then the whole business with the superannuation. And of course, there's another mum with 3 other kids from him. And Kath made it an absolute nightmare. So everything was done by word of mouth. Right. He told me previously that he wanted it all to go to me and Jake. He just needed to get a witness to sign it or something, and he never did it. So it automatically goes to the children. Put in a trust fund by the adults, the parents, and then goes to the children when they're 18. But Kath wanted in on that. So she contacted the superannuation company and told them that the other mother, because we made up, I wanted to keep her sweet. I wanted her on my side until that was all over. Do you know what I mean? And she started sending a little bit of money, like $100 a week for Jake, which was really bloody helpful. And why not? I'm not getting any. Didn't get any, yeah, she should. So it gets worse, Lena. Trust me, right? So anyway, she was very mentally unstable. She was on a lot of prescription drugs. Stuff going on with her. I don't know what happened in her childhood. I've tried to find out because I always try to find out why people behave the way they do. To try, I don't know, in my head, like try to give them some grace and try and understand them and I do actually try to talk to people about their problems and help steer them to helping themselves, which isn't my responsibility, but I just see people in pain,
I do too. I do. Trust me, I know tonight especially.
Yeah, it's empath or whatever. I don't know.
Man, it's not. That full moon is like super going tonight. Wow.
Well, it's nearly noon here in Australia on Sunday, so yeah, it'd be like I think it must have been full moon here last night. I don't know how it works, but yeah, that sounds really dumb.
No,
so anyway,
I mean it's the truth, but it makes people do things that.
So, I've got to do the thing about the ashes first. Sorry, right? I'll get the superannuation. I'll come to that. So she got all pally with his girlfriend, told her a load of crap about me, and she was doing my old job. She was the manager on the cattle ranch, right? So she banned me from coming up to the cattle ranch, and they were So they were doing the spreading of his ashes up there, like a whole ceremony and everything, right? But I had a mutual friend who was still working there, and he gave me a heads up of when it was happening because she wouldn't.
How about his son be allowed to be there?
I know, right? So it's all right because my friend let me know. God rest his soul. He is dead now. He died of cancer 3 or 4 years ago. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to go there. So, and also I had a friend that lived in the nearest town, which was an hour and a half away from the cattle ranch, who also knew me and Adam before we went up on the cattle ranch. Like she was there when I first met him. She actually had a bit of a crush on him at one point. That was funny, but I got him. Joking. No, joking.
You forever had him.
Yeah, I never did I? Really, I guess.
No, I said you forever have him now.
It's a little joke we have. It's a little joke we have together. We're still friends now. So luckily, because it's so remote and I couldn't drive up there because it takes like 27 hours to drive there from Perth. There was no way. And I had to fly up there. my mum sent me the money to fly up there. She lent me the money, thank God, because it's about, I don't know, $700 your money to go up there.
Wow.
With
Hey, Bubby.
Jake. Luckily, hi everyone. Sorry, whoever's coming.
Hey,
Hi, Greg.
Bubby.
So anyway, Kathy, my friend, luckily lived. She goes, "I'll pick you up from the airport. We'll go up there together. I would love to be there too. I want to say goodbye to him." So
Oh,
she was amazing, and it just sort of fell together perfectly. And even though I was banned, so I just rocked up, and you should have seen his mum's face. His mum's face when I turned up, like
I would have
trying
loved
not
it.
trying not to look surprised.
I would have
You
loved
know,
that. You know that would have been
you're
pretty
not going to stop
excellent.
my son from saying goodbye to his dad.
That's right.
You know, I mean, you know, he doesn't remember it now, but it's more. You know, I made sure I took lots of photos and stuff, and you know, so he knows he was there and that he was part of it. Like it's not okay, you know. And for me as well, this girlfriend had been with him a year. You know, I was with him for 4 years. I've got his child. Like we've been through so much together. He hadn't even spoken to his mum in 12 years. And she knew nothing of his history, his other children, like nothing, you know, and I just thought, screw you. So anyway, I just walked up and went, hi, how you going? She was just ignored me or whatever. And then there was at one point when I was walking over to the restaurant and something about the money, or I don't know, her husband said something. And I said, well, no, actually, this is what happened. And because she'd sent me this weird letter saying, oh, enjoy the money or something like that. And she'd actually, I don't know, like there was loads of little bitchy things that she did. She actually went to his bank and cleared his bank account out
Wow.
before all of this. She took all his money. And anyway, he ended up shouting at me, which was a bonus, really, because it makes them look like they're the trouble, you know, because I wasn't there to cause any trouble.
Yeah.
So anyway, they did this whole thing on the beach, on his favorite beach. There was 4 people that were selected to put ashes into the sea, people that had known him for a couple of years while working on the ranch. I went up and I said, like, do you mind if like me and Jake have a little bit to put in the sea? They said no. And so we went in the sea together and just had a little paddle. I know it sounds silly, but had a little paddle with Daddy.
No, that's good. It's good though, T.
And then, you know, and then she stood up and did a whole speech about how that love and all of this, and you know, and I'm standing there. You know, she was in love with him. I get that, and she was very brave standing up there because she was actually there when he died. She had to sit. She told me in great detail how she stood there and held him and kept him warm until the ambulance came. You know,
That's got to be hard for her too.
She said he just looked like he was sleeping because he died instantly, you know.
Oh, wow.
But at the same time, her and his friends were there, and she said he was so drunk he was staggering about. I said, how did you let him
How
on
did
that
you let him
motorcycle?
leave? Yeah.
Like, I never let him have a motorbike. Like, I don't like to say let him. Like, I don't believe that partners should let each other do anything. You know,
No, but
you're your own
there's a mutual
people.
respect
But,
there.
you know, there's no way I knew it would happen if he had a motorbike, you know. Not blaming it on her. Like I say, she wasn't with him very long. She didn't know what he was like. He was always getting done for drunk driving. He went to prison for drunk driving when he was 20, you know.
Wow.
I don't think she knew that, you know. So I don't want to blame it on her. And she's like, oh, you know what he was like. You couldn't tell him anything. No, I'm sorry. Like, I'll be taking the bike away or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, Matt, how you going? So it was just, I don't know. I don't know why I was bringing that up. Yeah, so she held him. She said she kept him warm until the ambulance came, which like is just horrendous, you know, absolutely
It's
horrendous.
sad.
So you know, she had so I'm like standing there listening to what she's saying, and I'm staying strong and everything with my son, and his mum is sitting there smirking at me, you know, like smirking at me. Oh, ha ha! I bet she's really jealous and hurt that this girlfriend's standing up there. I wasn't. I was sad for her, you know. His mum's like this, like like
Yeah, but you
smirking
know
at me.
what? T, that
So
shows your
childish.
character. That shows your character.
I mean, Jesus.
That's your
Like,
character. That's who you are. And that's you're
yeah,
a good person.
evil. Like, hey, anaphylaxis, thanks for coming in to my depressing life. So yeah, we did the whole did a paddle with Daddy with the ashes, and we did like a shot. Like, so his favorite drink was Bundaberg. It's this dark rum from. It's a proper Aussie drink. So we all did a shot. Not Jake. Me and Kathy did a shot of Bundaberg rum. You know.
Yeah.
So and then we hung around for a while, and so his friends are there and everything, and there was a fire, and they lived at, thank God, they lived in a different house to what we lived in when we were there. We lived in this little cottage, and we had the fire outside the cottage where I lived, and I went back in there and laid on our bed, and he had this friend called Ben that he always used to talk about, that they'd lost contact, but when he went back up to the station, they got in touch together, and they were like really, really close, and they were like brothers, you know. And Ben just came in, and I remember him staring at me and Jake lying on the bed, and just staring at Jake with this really sad look on his face. And I'm thinking, like, just say hello to me, just talk to me. But he'd been poisoned against me, you know, which was just, you know. And then then me and Claire, the girlfriend, ended up going down to where her and Adam lived. And she was asking me these questions. She goes, "Can I ask you something?" I said, "You ask me anything, you know." And she said, "Is it true? Is it true that you dipped the glass in the water with the ashes and drank the ashes?"
Oh my God.
What? And this is Kath telling her stuff. There was loads of stories that were told about me and everything. And anyway, so went back down to Perth after that. There was the funeral thing at the crematorium as well, where he got cremated. And she goes, "Did you try to go down to the crematorium and steal his ashes and stuff?"
What in the hell, T?
So much crap. When I forgot about the cremation, sorry, obviously ashes.
Oh my God.
And yeah, she was weird with me there, and it was so not him, the whole thing. Everyone was dressed in black. He wanted everyone in a Cobra hats, cowboy hats, country music. That was him. And it was so formal, and his sister picked the pub afterwards, and it was like this like city place, and it was just not him at all. And I remember, like, I had friends that mutual friends, and she was like, "This isn't Adam," you know. It was just really horrible. And he had so he always used to wear his hat everywhere. The only time he'd take it off was when he went to bed, you know. and it was like part of him, you know. And so then we went up, we put a rose on the coffin, me and Jake, and his mum gave his hat to her, to Claire, which was kind of like, I understand it, but I'd been with him the whole time he'd had that hat, and I would have loved Jake to have it, you know. But it was like she's kind of gave me a little smirk while she gave it to her as well, you know. She's just evil. So yeah, there was that. Anyway, we carry on with life. I'm there with my sister in Perth, because we moved from the little town back to Perth just so we had more resources for Jake. There was no daycare, there was nothing. There was the nearest city, but you'd have to drive half an hour to get there, put him in, and it would cost, like, I think $50 for him to go in, and then drive half an hour back, and then you'd only earn like what, $50-$80 a day. So it was, you know, I was just working for nothing. So we went to Perth, put Jake had daycare, he started socializing. My sister, I don't know, my sister started working, blah blah blah. What happened next? So I don't know, my sister ended up going back after a year.
So she stayed with you a year after she came over?
She stayed with me a year. I was still doing all of this curbing and everything. When she left, it was really weird. She left behind a diary, accidentally on purpose, and it had all this stuff written about me in it. And she was saying that she'd done the same to her sister, my stepsister, which is like her half sister. She'd done the same to her, like left this diary or piece of paper. "Hey Susan, thanks for being here. With all this crap about me in it. Are you okay?"
Oh yeah, I'm good. I just swallowed up and take some stuff off. I'm good.
Yeah. Have you got the use of both arms back now?
This one I'm working on. This one I'm good. This one, he worked me hard yesterday, but I can't lift it up myself, but he did and stretched it out. And I want to hurt him today because it hurts really, really, really bad. But it's a good sore.
Yeah.
But yeah, I have
Yeah.
to keep the compression on the nerves here until they
Yeah.
can get. But that one, being out tonight, it swelled up and it was kept my circulation off.
Yeah, you
So
look
good.
really well. You're doing really well. You look fabulous. I
Well,
can
I'm
see you.
glad that thank you, T. I'm glad that it looks that way.
I
I
know what
think
you're
last
like.
night everybody was trying to knock me out because I was like, ah.
But so yeah. So I'll go back to the superannuation. Sorry, I'm all over the place, guys. It's
No,
just
you're
I
good.
didn't think I would get
It's
upset as
okay.
well.
It's conversation. You don't have to. You do not have to hurry. You do not have to rush, honey.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like to be able to follow the story is important to me. I don't know. So we're in Perth and everything, and all this stuff's going on. I totally forgot about the superannuation to go back to that. So one of the things, Kath, when Adam died, like she always has to be centre of attention. So she'd sent me this bloody photo on her phone, and she made all these slashes on her legs, and she said it's 32 slashes, one for each year of his
What?
life, one
Oh
for
my
each year of
God.
his life. Yeah, she was a
Oh my
nut.
God.
And then there was another time she sent me one where she'd like cut, like really deep cut in her wrist and everything, sent it to me with a sad face like this and stuff. I mean, I don't know if she was really attempting it or it was for
No, she's
attention. I
not.
don't know.
I'm just gonna tell
No,
you, no, she wasn't. Mhm.
yeah. I don't, well, okay. I didn't want to offend
Allegedly, in
anyone.
my
I
opinion.
didn't want to offend anyone that has actually tried to do that.
No,
But for me,
allegedly, in
it
my
was
personal
intentional.
opinion and professional opinion, that if they're gonna do
Yeah.
it, you're not gonna know it. So go
Thank you, Crimson. Yeah. So this comes into effect. So and mumbled like text messages that were all letters and didn't make sense and stuff,
Yeah.
right? So anyway, going back to superannuation, she contacted the superannuation company and told them that the other mum was a drug addict and that she shouldn't be trusted with the kids' money. And they believed it, and they put all of her money in, like Kath in charge of all of her money. Was it Jake's money as well? I don't know. And we're like, what the hell, you know?
What?
So I was friends with his sister again. Oh yeah, so so the sister that I had to phone up and tell that he had passed.
Yes.
She was the one that ripped me off and abandoned. You know, she walked past her newborn nephew on the street and didn't even look at him. Like, you know, and I left and I had nothing. I was selling tins of food out of my cupboard to survive, like, because I had no welfare, no nothing, you know. And she just completely abandoned us and was just horrible. But when he died, obviously, like, I knew she had no one, and I drove to her house and took like a big tray of lasagna for her and her kids, and I said, you know, like, can we just unite over this and be there for each other? Like, I know how much you loved him. And so we made up, and she actually was homeless at one point and came and lived with us for, I think, 3 or 4 months, and I helped her. I furnished her whole house with the curbing stuff and, you know, did all of that. So we were kind of friends, and I told her what her mum was doing, like trying to take all the money, like take charge of all the money. And she's like, no, this is not happening. So we wrote character references. So the other mum did. I did, and I sent the texts and the pictures that she sent. Like, I said she's mentally unstable. Like, she's not, you know, she's not a good. This is not true. And then her own daughter wrote a report as well. So that got overturned, thank God, you know.
Oh wow.
But going through the stress of that, you know, hey Gary, how you going? Welcome to my depressing life. Going through the stress of that, like, that's, I think, why I wasn't grieving, but I kind of was like, I was just in denial, I think, because I'd think I'm going to come home and it was all a joke, and he'd be sitting on the sofa and go, "Oh, I got ya," you know.
Right.
I would be in traffic and I'd see him sitting in a car, and, you know, so it went on like that. My sister went home. The money was all sorted and everything, and I ended up moving to another house. I ended up, like, kind of seeing this guy because I was still like, you know, I wanted Jake to have a dad, and I didn't realize at the time that's what I was doing, and then realized that's the wrong reason to be with someone, you know. Broke up with him. He ended up getting on drugs with this. Me and the sister fell out again. he ended up
Oh
getting on
God.
her, right?
Yeah.
She was still a big meth head and everything. She was trying to justify it. She was living with me, and I caught her in my back garden with a
What?
pipe. Like, no, this isn't with her friend. And I'm like, mate, that's not okay. Like, like, and she's like,
Wow.
it's okay. You can have fully functional drug addicts, and you can try it if you want. And I'm like, no,
No, thank you.
no. Like, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but it's not. You not do it in my house, Anyway, so we fell out. She got with this. She got this guy on drugs. He'd had a problem in the past, and so he fully, like, really heavily got into drugs and started sending me all this mental abuse and coming around my house because I'd kind of like told him I didn't want a relationship with him. It wasn't right, to protect him from getting hurt as well,
Right.
So
Yeah,
then
right.
he'd turn up at my house and I'd have to call the police, and and then all the grief hit me all of a sudden. I think when my sister had gone home and all of that, and all this grief hit me, and I decided, like, I'm going to move back to the UK. So I sold everything. I moved back to the UK. Oh yeah, and one of my friend's sons also unalived himself during this time.
Wow.
Like almost exactly a year after Adam died.
Wow.
And I'm at his wake and everything, or no, sorry, funeral, and I've got this guy constantly abusing me through emails and stuff, and I couldn't figure out how to block someone on Hotmail. I just couldn't do it. It wouldn't do it. So just constantly abusing me. So anyway, I went back to the UK, got, like, I don't know, all these things fell into place, got a really nice apartment and stuff, like really, really lucky to get that. Jake started school. Oh, at one point, sorry, I know these are like there's little bits. At one point, in Australia, my sister said that she took him to like a play center, and he was very aggressive. He was always hitting because he couldn't talk, and he couldn't. He was. I thought he had a hearing problem, and he was frustrated because he couldn't talk because of his hearing, or he couldn't hear what people were saying. I don't know. He used to hit people, but for me, like, I just felt in my heart, he wasn't a bad kid. He wasn't an evil kid that hits people for no reason.
Right.
I knew there was something more. It was my baby, and I just knew that he wasn't a malicious child or whatever. So I took him to a behavioural specialist. So he was 2, and the behavioural specialist said, no, he's not autistic. He uses eye contact, which is bloody ridiculous. For anyone that knows anything about autism, every single person that is autistic is different. Some use eye contact, some don't,
Absolutely, and some use touch and some don't.
Yeah. So I carried on investigating his ears and things. Apparently he couldn't hear out of one ear. He had like really bad glue ear and couldn't hear out of one ear, and he was supposed to get grommets, but because I moved back to the UK, he lost the appointment and he's never had it. But anyway, that I was just saying that because when he started school in the UK, they were like, look, he's 4 at this point.
Yeah.
They're like, we really think he's on the spectrum, like he was just starting to talk then, kind of. He was semi-verbal, and they were like, he kicked a teacher in the stomach, and he threw a chair across the room, and the fire alarm went off, and he was extremely triggered, So I had to go down the whole route of getting a diagnosis for him to get the full support. The waiting list in the UK was 3 years for publicly, and
that's insane.
Yeah, it's now 5. It was 3 when I was 10. Yeah,
that's insane.
Yeah, that was publicly, and then privately, I looked into privately because I could access some of his money for things like that. It was 18 months, and I was like, that's still too long. It was like 3 people taking him into the classroom every morning. He could never do more than an hour.
Right.
And actually, bless his heart, like we did try it. We increased it bit by bit by bit. And on his very last day of his first year, he went in and he did a whole day on his last day.
That's progress.
Bless his heart.
That was progress.
Yeah. So it was 18 months to get a diagnosis, and I was like, can't do 18 months, that's too long. This was after like 6 months of him being at school or something. So I looked into how much it would be in Australia, and it was 4 weeks privately. We'd have to wait 4 weeks. and a year publicly.
Wow.
So, during this time, I also had another relationship for the same
See,
reason. I realize now. I know, and I think it was just because I was grieving, and he was living at my mum's house, and he was someone that went to my school, and I kind of knew him through people, and I thought that I could trust him, and we ended up getting together on New Year's Eve, and we were only together a couple of months. It turned out that he was addicted to cocaine.
My God.
He said that he was in recovery and that he, wasn't doing it anymore. He started lying, and I found out that he was doing it behind my back. He was also he said to me, like, the first time I ever saw him, there was twice he did it. He was out. Once I broke up with him because I found out he was doing it while he was out. We went out for like he was supposed to be redeeming himself and apologizing or whatever and saying that he would never change. We went to a pub. And he moved in with me from my mum's, which was just stupid. That was like after I was with him 4 months. So I think 3.5 months, like he only lived with me 3 weeks because he was doing this. He was saying that he was sorry and everything. We went to the pub and he got talking to this guy, went to the toilet and came back out, and I could see that he'd done something. So, and he was just not with it. I couldn't even have a conversation with him. He was so off his face. He came back to the house, and I said, Jake was staying at my mum's, and I waited until the morning, and I said, get your stuff and get out. And he was very emotionally manipulative, lots of mind games and stuff, making it my fault and things.
Gaslighting.
Yeah, and saying, oh my God, I can't believe you're chucking me out, and all that stuff. So I went through that as well, which really kind of screwed me up. I'm just like, I was like saying to myself, what is wrong with me? Why does everyone lie to me? Why is everyone letting me down? Why, and I thought it was me, So I was in the UK for 20 months. I said I'd give it 2 years. I was there 20 months, and I was like, no, screw this. I went back to Australia with my boy, got him diagnosed. 2 months after we got back here, COVID hit. So we missed it in the UK, thank God, because it was rife there. It would have been really, really, really hard. I feel for all the people in the UK that went through it. It was insane due to such a big population so squished together, where we hardly noticed it in WA. We were very, very lucky. We could still go to the shops. We could still, I think he had the whole time, because how long did it go on for? A couple of years, wasn't it?
It's still going now, but
yeah, the whole time he only had 2 weeks off school. That was it. They didn't even close.
It was lockdown 2020, 2021, and I don't know how long some other places, but I know through 2021, 2022,
yeah. So I'm just trying to remember. I think so. After all of that, I didn't really trust anyone. I found it really hard to have any friends or anything. So I've been back in Australia a couple of years, and I end up meeting one of the school mums. He did really well at school here when he first started. He loved it. And I made friends with one of the school mums, and she was the one that, I don't know if I mentioned before, she's kind of, I don't know, I let her into my heart, and she ended up, like, there was this guy that was a school dad, and someone was trying to get us together, and I had a little crush on him. He came around my house one night and we had a kiss. And I was like, and again, it's like, I'm so like, I don't know, if I kiss someone, for me, that means something to me.
Right.
And like, and I really liked him, and we were hanging out every day with the kids, and I don't know, it was really weird. I realise now that he was an absolute arrogant twat, but on my 39th birthday, because I've always had a thing about birthdays, I've never had a decent birthday. I wanted to have this big house party, and it was like Mexican themed, and I was like, I want all this Mexican food for everyone. The guy who I liked brought like massive speakers, had them out in the garden, so like everyone could party out there. I was going to have and I advertised it on Facebook to all the school mums and everything. I'd been in Australia a couple of years at this point, and I said there's going to be like a movie room for the kids, it's going to be karaoke, like all this stuff. And my two friends were met. This best friend, she started calling me a bestie on like the second night that we hung out together.
Oh Lord, run.
She was like, you know, don't worry, you won't have to do anything. It's your birthday. And so, oh, sorry, Mad Drop Bear. No, he's not, because he doesn't have an intellectual disability, so he doesn't qualify for that. So he has to go into mainstream with support. So he has a full-time EA. Yeah, so anyway, she was supposed to like help me out and do all this, and she turned up like really, really, really drunk already, and she'd had like this bloke that she'd met on Tinder or something had like
Lord,
bailed on her or whatever, and she was really, really
yeah.
upset and stuff, and she was just too drunk to do anything. So I ended up trying to do everything myself, didn't do the karaoke, didn't have the movie room. So I constantly had this stream of kids coming up asking me like, have you got a Band-Aid? And you know, so I couldn't really get the cooking done as well, and I was just totally let down by her. I didn't get any. I got maybe like 20 minutes outside in my party, and it was just horrible. And so I had this trampoline outside for Jake, and it was really, really dark. And another friend who is actually really lovely, she actually did some cooking for me. Her daughter, who was 12 years old at the time, came in and she goes, I don't know if I should say the names in case they watch it. Oh, fuck it. She goes, Lauren and Brian just kissed. And I'm like, what?
What the hell?
So my best friend and him, she went, yeah. And I just couldn't believe it. I was like, no way. No way. I went up to Brian and I said, oh, did you and Lauren just have a snog? And he was like, no. And then Lauren was like the same. No, we didn't. And so I was like, okay. And I just kind of got on with the night, but I don't know. I couldn't have a good time. So,
right.
A few days later, like it was just festering.
It's okay.
I went down.
Illusion.
What's that?
No, they didn't get any notification.
Yeah, we didn't.
StreamYard's acting up.
Yeah. And I paid my bill yesterday as well, and I'm thinking,
me too.
Oh,
it makes me so mad too. Right? Yeah.
And I reckon they overcharged me. It's like they charged me for 3 months or something. I don't know.
No, they doubled in price.
Blimey, far out. I don't know. So anyway,
something different.
I went round to my friend's house and I spoke to the 12-year-old girl. I said, look, right, I need to know, like, I don't think you're lying, but maybe you were mistaken or whatever. I really need to know. Can you tell me, please? I think she must have been 14, actually, very, very mature, beyond her years, amazing girl. She's in Italy at the moment doing all sorts. She's amazing. So I said, I need you to tell me in detail, like what happened, the body language, how did it, what happened? She said, well, they went in the corner and, they were talking and then they leaned in and it lasted for so-and-so amount of seconds. And then she walked away and put her hands in her pocket and looked all pleased with herself and stuff like that. And I'm like, wow, so I was just absolutely devastated, felt deceived, heartbroken again, like, oh my God. So it was my 39th and I'm 43. That was far out. It was 4 years ago now. And that's when my spiral started.
Yeah.
To what I am, where I've come to now, where I just didn't trust anyone. I confronted her about it. I said, look, I know it happened, and I burst out crying in front of her. I had like a proper meltdown in front of her, and she said she was so sorry. She bought me flowers for a week. I didn't mean to hurt you. I was feeling bad about myself. I was so drunk and I wanted to feel wanted and all of this stuff. And so I carried on like being friends with her, but I never trusted her again. And I still don't trust her now. And we just kind of drifted apart. Like I would spend Christmases. I spent last Christmas with her and her family, but I haven't been invited this year so far. We just really, really drifted apart. She got a boyfriend and kind of just ditched me, never hung around with me anymore, Yeah. So yeah, we never had anything in common anyway. And it's one of the things actually I'll write down that I've learned. So sorry, just write that down. Another bit of thing, right? Okay, yeah. So yeah, I just went into this like deep depression, like really triggered the CPTSD and everything. I got into crafting, and like this is what I seem to do. I do a distraction thing where I avoid life and I get obsessed and I hyper focus on something. That's and at the moment it's YouTube. but YouTube's helping me at the same time. So it's kind of like, I start going to therapy. I start going to schema therapy. So this was 2 years ago. I start putting on weight. I'm comfort eating loads. I've gone from a size 12 to a size 16, 18. I don't know what that is in American. It's a lot different. So start going to schema therapy, identifying my schemas and my maladaptive behaviors and why they're happening.
Yeah.
And one of the things, so this is what I've learned from that therapy, is that I learned firstly that I had abandonment issues because of my dad.
Yes.
Not being around. That has caused me, I guess, maybe to have those two little silly relationships. But I recognized it and broke up with him. I didn't put up with it, you know. I have learned that girl, when she was telling me that she was my bestie after like the second time we hung out, that was a red flag, you know. So learning about boundaries and red flags, which I'd never known before, I'd never been taught in childhood, you know. So that's what I learned is if people are like, I guess, love bombing, isn't it? Straight away.
Yes,
I don't
that's what I was going to say. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah. I don't believe she was a narcissist or anything like that, but regardless, that's too full on for someone calling you a bestie the second time I met you.
Absolutely.
And I was like, what? Like, I didn't even think of that. So I should have had like, and boundaries as well. So I've been learning all about boundaries, red flags, and recognizing them, what they are, which is huge. What else did I learn? So the abandonment issue.
But you've learned, you've come so far. You've come so far just by being able to step back from the whole situation and reflect. And those reflections and looking backwards, that right there is what's going to help you move forward. Everything that you have been through has gotten you to here. But with the lessons that you can take out of this, it's going to make you so much stronger.
Yeah, and I did, I guess, when I first started going, the whole red flags about that friendship and stuff, I was like, I don't need that friendship anymore, and I haven't put any effort into it. So I learned that, and I was starting to get somewhere. And then I learned about the abandonment issues, and that just completely messed me up. I was like, so my whole childhood and all of this, I didn't see much of a problem with my childhood. I actually have a best friend that I made while I was living in the UK, and she brought it up to me. Yeah. And she said, in fact, that's why I started getting into the therapy. She goes to me, T, you really downplay what happened to you in your childhood. She said, it's horrendous. And I went, it wasn't that bad. People have had it worse. She's like, no. She said, I can see like some of these things that have happened, have affected you later on. So that's when I started going to therapy. And when the abandonment issues came up, because I thought that it was okay because one parent loved me, like he showed his love. I know my mum loves me now, I know that. He showed me lots of love, so he was a good parent. But you can be your child's friend and show them lots of love, but yes, you're a good parent, but you also need to teach them that your job as a parent, in my eyes, is to set them up to go out into the world by themselves as well. Right. That's the main thing. You've brought this human into the world. They're your responsibility, and you have to teach them responsibility and how to look after themselves and how to just be a decent person, and guidance and encouragement. And that's right. I none of that. I got love from my dad, but he wasn't there for me. And learning this devastated me, absolutely devastated me, because I've always been a daddy's girl, and but at the same time, I've never put effort into calling him, speaking to him, because we've been rejected so many times because of his partner that he's with. Oh, we don't have enough room. Like 32 years, never been invited up for Christmas. Never.
Wow.
Never included in anything. His 70th birthday, his 80th birthday, never included in anything, And I just thought, oh, that's just dad, and it's too much for him. But no, it was her controlling. She was controlling a lot of it, and she'd brainwashed him, and So anyway, knowing that I've got these abandonment issues and feeling so much anger and grief for the childhood that I should have had, or I feel like I deserve to have.
Right.
All children deserve to have. Really, really, really hit me and put me further and further into this depression, this spiral of of the CPTSD, and I withdrew further and further. I stopped going out even more because I was scared to form friendships. What's the point? You know, they're just going to hurt me. So it just went on and on and on, right? And then I was going over to the UK and I was going to visit him, and I'm like, what do I do? I said to my therapist, I was like, do I bring this up with him? He's on his last legs. He's not got long to live. Do I bring it up with him or not? And she said, okay, what do you want to achieve from bringing it up? And I said, I guess just some validation, like some sort of closure. I'm sure he's not aware of any of it. You know, he's not aware that, you know, he thinks he did what he could. And I mean, maybe he did. I don't know. I'll never know now. So I went up there. His mum, sorry, my stepmom, so-called stepmom, just put me down the whole time I was there. She put down, because Jake only eats specific foods, but I couldn't make it for him because I have to make this sauce in a blender, which I didn't have with me. So he would just eat the fast food while we were there. We were only there for 2 days. And so she would criticize the fact that he's eating crap food.
T, do you ever get a break?
I know. So
I mean, really, I mean, there's got to be a point here that enough is enough.
I know, right? So she was putting down the parenting. She'd ask me, like, I think we were there 2 or 3 days. She'd be like, "Oh, has Jake had a shower?"
Oh my
I'm
God!
like, why are you asking me if my son's had a shower? Right? Jake doesn't like showers. He finds it very hard. Like, he can't have a shower. He has to have a bath because it's too much sensory stuff going on. So no, he didn't have a shower. He didn't have a shower for 2 days.
So like, what? Who cares?
He has a wash with a flannel and stuff, you know, but he didn't have a shower. No, he didn't have a shower. But you know, and he's there while she's asking that, and he's like, "Why is she asking that? Should we just lie? Should we just say that I had a shower?" And I'm like, "No, babe, no." You know, I'm just like, you know, so, and all this would happen when my dad wasn't around. She'd be saying these things. Right. And she actually came in on the first night, because when she said about the food, and I said, like, it's not, you know, I've tried everything. I've had a food therapist come into our house every day for 6 months. You know, I've tried everything, right?
Yeah, we talked about this while you were over there. You were telling me about it, and I was like,
yeah. Wow. And it's like, there's her that she doesn't really know him. She'd only met him like 3 times. Yeah. Like, you know, he's what, 10 at this point. Like, you don't know him. She doesn't really know me, you know? Right. So, cut out, right? So when she first said about the food thing, oh, well, you know, when I was little, they put the food on the table, and if you didn't eat it, you weren't allowed to leave the table. And it's like, I've tried that, you know? I've tried, like, saying, if you don't eat this, you don't get anything. He didn't eat for 5 days, not a crumb. I can't sit there and watch my child not eat.
No, you can't.
You know? I'll give him anything whenever he bloody wants it, you know? Well, actually, now he started playing that when it's bedtime. Oh, I'm hungry. No, mate. Like, you know? Wants you to cook a whole meal, and I'm like, no, you can have some
chips. It's the sweetest though, but it's so sweet.
He's a bugger. I love him. He's smart, man.
He is smart.
He's very smart. The things he comes out with. So yeah, there was that, and then there's like, I'm sitting there, we're watching TV with her and my dad, and I start saying, you know, I'd love to study psychology, or, you know, and my friend's doing a counselling degree, and I'd love to do that. And she immediately turns around and goes, "Oh no, I don't think you're definitely not the right person to do that. You couldn't."
Who are you?
You shouldn't do that. And I was like, you know, when you get like a little pain in your heart, like, oh, yeah. You know. And I was just like in shock again. I'm learning as well to stick up for myself more. I didn't then, because it's like I find it very hard to stick up for myself. I'll just sort of go, okay, and just walk away. But now I'm like, no. Fuck you, kind of thing, you know?
There you go.
You know, so that was the other thing. And then my dad, like, I have quite like I dissect everything and diagnose everyone. I've learned not to do that as well, because it's can be annoying. But I also look into everything a lot. I'm very kind of like, my dad goes, you're analytical. You're a very analytical person, right? And I was like, oh yeah, I guess I am. Then me and her go down to the fish and chip shop to go and get chips, and she makes this point of saying to me on 3 occasions that, you know, to be analytical, you have, lots of people go through decades of education on how to analyze data and this, that, and the other, and you know.
What is the point of this put down with you.
I don't know.
Because you have been through enough in your life that you should be able to just be yourself and be done.
Yeah. I don't know. But, well, she was an alcoholic for years. She went to Al-Anon and it fixed her, and I should go to Al-Anon. I should go to the support thing or whatever, because that will fix me,
Wow.
you know. And therapy. Oh no, this is the other thing, right? So anyway, when I go to leave, I'm biting my tongue the whole time. I just wanted to spend time with my dad.
I know.
And she would never leave us alone. She would never ever leave us alone. The same as every single phone call. Over 32 years, I think I've had 3 phone calls. Yeah, 12 steps mad. Yeah. I've had 3 phone calls where she's not in the background telling him what to say, or she's listening on another phone.
Wow.
Like I can hear it, you know? 3 phone calls in 32 years. That's what she's like. So I get like, I don't know. Another thing, right? So I'm in the kitchen with my dad. She's not there. And he tells me, and this sent me over the edge. He tells me that when him and her got together and he moved back up to Scotland, that they were trying for a baby.
Yeah.
And that just freaking killed me.
I know it did. I talked to you that night and you were really upset.
Yeah, we went back into the lounge room and I said, I had to say something about this abandonment issues. And I said, look, Dad, she did finish the steps mad. Don't even get on to me about AA, because I've got a big opinion about that. I know it's helped a lot of people, but I don't know. She had extreme trauma as a child, and I think that she needed help with that. Like AA stopped her drinking, but it didn't solve her trauma, in my opinion. It's my opinion, you know. That's a whole nother thing. We're not going to get into this on this stream. So I try and talk to my dad, and I say, look, Dad, you know, it really, really actually hurt when you just told me that you were trying for a baby, because you had 3 kids, and, you know, like, what about us? You know, and I started crying, and he was like, oh my God, I didn't think that, you know, there was anything wrong, and I didn't think you would be upset. And I was crying, and then she walked in. Like, so I'm just about to start talking to him about it properly, and she walks in, and I'm just like, for fuck's sake. I don't think him or her noticed that I was crying. I wasn't like, just tears started coming out. So I left Scotland, and the whole way from his house to England on the plane and everything, I just bawled my eyes out. You know, I was so upset. And then went back to Australia, and then I got a message from her saying, you know, I hope you enjoyed your stay. And I thought, well, this is it. I'm going to stick up for myself. So I wrote back to her and I said, thank you so much for your hospitality. Thank you so much for having us. But I feel that actually I've got the message. I could read it out. I think I've done this on one of my other streams.
I'm sorry, T. I'm not trying to disrupt you. Just trying to.
No, it's okay.
Comfortable.
You're all right. Oh God, I think I've deleted all her text messages. That's handy. Oh no, it was on WhatsApp. Right. I have to read this out because it's.
No, go ahead.
It's pivotal.
This is you. This is all you, honey.
Oh my God. Where is she? Oh God, I've got messages from my dad there. So this would have been, oh my God, ages ago. She's so fucking horrible. God, I haven't read these for a while. All right. So she said, I hope you. That seems better. Da, 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 da. Oh no, this 2023. Oh no, it'd be 2024, wouldn't it?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So she said, I hope it was okay, and I hope it wasn't too boring. First of all, before I stuck up for myself, I said, she got the day wrong when we were going back. I said, no, we've been back in Australia since Sunday. And I said, I went to the police about Roy finally after 26 years. And I found the strength and and talked about that. And then I put, it was nice to come up and see you both. Thanks for your hospitality. But I did feel you were quite critical of me, and it put me in a bit of a bad place for a while. I feel that you don't know me or Jake well enough to presume so much about my future goals, my parenting, his autism, and how my brain works, to be honest. I felt torn apart. I probably should have set some boundaries the first time you judged me, but I'm only just learning how to do that. I have very low self-esteem, so it's a struggle for me. I would really appreciate it if you were a little more mindful of this, please, next time we visit. Anyway, I just needed to get that off my chest. I hope you're both well. And I put kisses and everything, right? You know what she replied to that? Thanks for your inspirational text. That was it. Thanks
Yeah.
for your inspirational text. And I was like, what does that mean? Is that
I know.
sarcasm? Is that sarcasm? I don't know. And then I got a message from my dad, and basically he was saying, why are you attacking my wife? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, what the hell? And then she texts me and goes, the next time you stay, you have next time you visit, you stay in an Airbnb, and you have limited,
What?
you have limited, perhaps half an hour visits with your
What the
dad
hell?
due to his frail health. Yeah, bullshit. Much as I am fond of you, I can't cope with
Wow.
people staying if I'm going to give my best to dad. And this is the first, we've only stayed there like 3 times in 32 years. I always get a hotel. Because I know it's too much for my dad, like people
Yeah.
and stuff. Or apparently it is, but he spends a lot of time with her 4 children. They have Christmases together. Blah blah blah. Keep going to, so she said, first of all, she says, keep going to the therapist, more will be revealed. I don't know. Anyway, long story short, she starts, I say about all the abandonment issues. I don't know if I should read the ones. Should I read the ones from my dad? Sorry. Because there's a lot to it. Basically, I feel abandoned all over again. My dad said you couldn't have pushed us further apart. And I feel abandoned by him all over again.
Right.
Get even more
As
triggered.
you should. I mean, you're not
Yeah.
wrong for that. Yeah.
Then they start telling me that it's the therapist's fault and that I need to stop going to therapy and I should be going to Al-Anon or, AA. They just want money from me. They just want money from me.
Excuse me.
And it's messing you up and all of this stuff, and I'm just like, and it was just horrible. And I ended up having I sent a big long voice message to my dad, and conveniently he never got it because she would control his phone. She would take his phone and stuff. Keela, you look so tired, mate. Are you all right?
No, I'm hurting. I'm
Right.
sorry. I'm having a spasm right now. Just forgive me for a second.
Okay, all right. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure you're all right.
No, I'm
just
trying
keep
to hold
going,
it together here. Yeah, you keep going.
Oh,
This is you.
You're
I'm going to
amazing.
be here for you. I'm just having a really bad spasm. It'll go away.
Yeah.
Right here, baby.
All right, darling. Okay. You're amazing.
Yeah, my neck is pulling, and I'm trying to get it back over this way.
Yeah. So I don't know. So I'm, she was hiding messages from him of me trying to talk to him and things, and I called him. I got him on the phone because I knew that she teaches. So they're both classical. He's a classical composer.
Yeah.
She teaches violin, and he taught piano. And I knew that she had. She'd cut all her lessons down and she was only teaching on Friday morning. So I knew I could get him on a Friday morning because she wouldn't be there to control it. So I called him on the Friday morning and I meant to have a really nice, calm conversation with him about things. And I said to him, look, Dad, I just need to tell you that, this is how I feel. I feel that you weren't around. First of all, he kind of goes, I just want to say that what you said wasn't okay. And I'm very upset by it, and we're really hurt, and you've hurt my wife, and all of this. Your behavior is not acceptable, and all of this. And I was like, "Are you fucking serious?" Like, I didn't swear. It's my dad. I never swear at my dad. Like, I'm Daddy's princess, right? And I said, "I'm sorry, Dad, but you need to hear my side of it." And I told him all of the stuff that had gone on when he wasn't there, and I said, like, and I said, can you honestly say to me that over the last 32 years that you've been a good dad and you've been there for me and you've done everything you can to be a good parent, right? And he said, yes. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
He's going to say yes.
He didn't get it. He just didn't get it. And then the more I revealed and the more he rejected it, and I just lost my shit. I shouted at my dad. I've never shouted at my dad. I was swearing. I absolutely lost it. I needed to get it all out. I was like, she's listening into phone calls. She's controlling what you're saying. He's not going to believe that, he's brainwashed, So it was just a horrible conversation. He had COPD and he was diagnosed with pulmonary embolism as well. Not embolism, pulmonary something. I don't know. His lungs were buggered, and he was gradually, I don't know. He ended up throwing up after that conversation. She messaged my sister, right, because she starts trying to stir up the other two sisters to go against me, and having these conversations with them, thinking that they're not going to tell me, trying to stir that up. Love bombing the shit out of
love it when they do that, though, because
love bombing the shit out of my other sister. When her partner's dad died suddenly of a pulmonary embolism, and then his mum's partner died suddenly in the space of 2 weeks, and 2 weeks before Christmas. She starts stirring her up, love bombing her. Oh, you're so strong, what you're going through. My sister's messaging me at the same time going, how does she know I'm strong? I could be drinking a whole bottle of vodka all day.
Because
she
doesn't blowing smoke up your ass.
Talking shit. Yes, blowing smoke up your ass. That's an American saying. I love it. I don't know what it means, but like, why would you what is blowing smoke up someone? I don't know.
It's just a saying.
One of these sayings that doesn't make sense, right? Jake hates them.
Doesn't make sense what's going on. Yeah.
What do they mean? What do they mean raining cats and dogs? I don't see any cats and dogs.
Yeah, same thing.
So then we have to like Google the meaning and where it came from and all that, for him to like get it. So funny. So things were bad. I don't know. Me and and she kept stirring me as well. I was like, so we weren't talking. She said, and so because she wasn't getting the attention, she would like, I just didn't message them. 2 weeks later, I'm at the
good night, Marie. I'm not far behind you. I'm trying.
No, darling, thanks for being here.
Facebook mom.
Yeah, I'm at work and she randomly messages me because that's one of the things I said to my dad. I said, why did she say thanks for your inspirational text? What was that all about? It was a dig, right? It was a dig. It couldn't have been anything else.
He goes, some advice?
Yeah.
I mean,
stop analyzing.
For what it's worth, stop. Don't let someone live rent free in your head.
I know, but it was just, I guess forward. I wanted to try and prove to my dad.
Good night.
Good night, darling. I know it must be late where everyone is.
I know, Barbie's saying, they're saying good night to Marie. Leave. Okay.
No, look, not everyone in America.
T, you do not have to explain what you do to anyone. You're a grown ass woman, and you're a strong ass woman, and you're a wonderful mother.
I just wanted to, I guess, like, show him that, like, look, I'm not attacking your wife here. This is what she's done to me. Like, hello, she's doing this, and he just, he just wouldn't have it.
He wasn't going to get it because
he's brainwashed. And
there you go. He was in that control.
Yeah.
But you know the truth.
Sorry, pinche Becky.
Google says the price originated from the decline of the price.
I was like resisting the urge to look it up, so thank you, because
Becky,
I believe Becky has ADHD as well. You just can't. You have to know. You just have to know.
Becky.
From the decline. Are you serious? Is that what it is? The decline of the practice of using smoke enemas. Merrily, thank you, darling. Thank you. Stuff goes on back and forth, trying to stir me up. She's trying to dig the knife in and stir me up. She messaged me 2 weeks later with no contact, right? And she put, thanks for your inspirational text again, even after I'd brought it all up with her and my dad and like, what was that all about, right? Just to piss me off, just to get me going again, because I haven't been hurt enough, And I was bawling my eyes out down the phone to them, like, yeah. And then she goes, right, you have to call the house phone. No texting from now on, just calling and blah, 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 and all this. Just whatever. So I just stopped calling and stopped bothering, and he would call me every now and then. And it was just always short, and I think she was putting a timer on him because there was, yeah.
Hello.
Hey, Tambajune. I love that name, Tambajune.
I know.
Pretty name, isn't it? Yeah, so I don't know, it just sort of like our relationship was never the same after that, me and my dad, obviously. But we agreed to kind of just move on from it. I said, look, I don't want your last years to be like this. Can we just please chalk it up to a misunderstanding? I don't think we're ever going to understand each other. We see it we see the world in different ways, as everyone does, and we you can't understand my point, and I don't understand.
Ben, wait, Ben, what did you just say? My brain is on overload after trying different things, staring at lasers on the wall. I'm going to bed. Y'all have a great evening.
Right, Ben.
Ben, thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here and supporting T. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to my depressing story.
No, this is your story. This is not depressing. This is your story, T, and you deserve to be heard.
I've had some good times as well. I was an air hostess for a few years and had some amazing. I've got bullied there as well and left because of bullying, but I saw the world, which was great. Had some funny stories. So anyway, long story short, it wasn't the same again with my dad. Still trying to accept these abandonment issues, trying to understand that he didn't do it on purpose and that I'm worthy and all of this stuff, And
you are. Know that.
Yeah, and just learning from it and learning what I need to do as a parent, And I mean, he's never abandoned. We're joined at the bloody hip, He's everywhere with me.
I know. I talked to you at night or your night, and he's like, I should have. Oh my God, it's 11 o'clock. He's got to go to bed.
Well, and that's only been since he's stopped going to school. Like normally, he'll go to bed at bloody 8 o'clock, and I just go to bed with him because I don't know. I'm just tired, I don't know. Anyway, we're just So in the end,
bye,
it was
Greg.
strange.
Have a good night.
I'll see you later, mate. Take care. Hey, so how did it end? Like, I don't know. It was strange between me and my dad. My sister, my middle sister, the one, the middle sister, she actually went and lived with my dad and my stepmom. Well, when I was up there, the last time I was up there, she introduced me to someone and she was going, this is my, and I went, stepdaughter? Like that? She didn't even know how to introduce me.
Wow.
Like the daughter of the bloke you've been married to for 32 years? Like, hello?
Wow.
Hello?
Jake.
Anyway, bloody. Oh God, I've lost what I was saying now. What was I saying? Shit.
So tell me this: what has been the number one thing that from everything that you've taken away, that you've thought back on and reflected on? What is the number one takeaway for you?
From which part? From all of it?
From all of it. Just from the whole Matrix situation. What is the most important takeaway for you?
Nobody knows how to parent. Like massively, nobody knows. And parents do the best that they can with what they've been taught, I think. And
I agree with that.
Some people do know how to parent and they're just complete assholes, and there's abusive people that are just nasty people. But I don't know. I think I don't know. I'm still learning that I am worthy. Since coming on here on YouTube for the last kind of year, I think it's been, but really getting into it over the last 6 months, I'm worthy. I am worthy. I have stuff about me that's lovable. I've learned so many things. I can't pinpoint one thing,
No, but no, it's okay. At least you're thinking, and you've come to where you're at, T, because you're strong. You're a survivor. You're a hero.
I guess as well. Actually, I had like a kind of moment. I was in the shower and it popped into my head. I am strong.
Yes, you are.
I am strong. I've been through a lot, and I'm over the other side of the world with no support, and I'm still here. I just need my motivation back. That's what I'm struggling. I've got no motivation. I need to trust people.
You've also been sick. That's not helping.
Yeah.
Trust me on that.
Well, I was talking about my sister when she went up there. That was it. She lived with them for 3 years, from when she was 13 to 16. And my mum just put her on an overnight bus from England to Scotland, and didn't tell me. Like, she just literally was almost like dumped on the doorstep. Here, have your child, look after her. And I don't know. For me, if I started a relationship with someone who had 3 children, I would be as heavily involved in that as he would allow me to be. especially if they were being neglected and stuff like that. I would want to be a welcoming home. They can come anytime they want. I'm taking them on as my family. You married, taking them on as my family, without stepping on toes of the actual mum or whatever.
Right.
That's just, I'm there to love them as part of my person I'm in love with. They're part of him, so for her to like not invite us up for Christmas, not to, one of the things I said to my dad, I said, Dad, me and the other two were out. We were shoplifting, we were shoplifting food and clothes so that we wouldn't get bullied at school.
Yeah.
And I said, and I said, and you wouldn't even you were calling us every 3 to 6 months, seeing us every 2 to 3 years. I said, that's not good enough. You weren't doing your best. And he was really shocked by it. But then maybe he didn't know from his childhood. I don't know. He didn't really have a social life. He was very socially awkward. And he said, well, what was I supposed to do? Ring you up and ask if you were shoplifting? No, just ring us in general. If I was apart from my child, I'd be ringing him every night to say goodnight. I would. How was your day? How are you doing at school? Who are your friends? I would know all that stuff.
There's a big difference.
I'd want to know that stuff. I'd want to know that stuff. Yeah. And it's struggling in my head, did he not give a shit, or he just didn't know to do that?
I don't think he needed to do that.
I know. Yeah. And that's what I realized, but I was so angry with him for so long.
So this is where you have to take in for your own self-preservation and Jake's self-preservation and stopping that generational trauma and everything else that goes with it. This is where you have to stand up, stop letting you can't go back and change anything. We know that. No, I mean, I'm serious. This is my
comment.
Okay. You can't go back and change anything. But what you can do now is start today and change everything. Yeah. You can create the future you want without anyone living rent-free in your head, in your heart. You've got a clear slate. You've got your son that is absolutely amazing. You are one of my most amazing friends, and we talk every day. You are a beautiful soul. You are a strong woman, and you can do this, and you can make a wonderful, wonderful life, just like you have been for you and that baby.
Yeah. I just need to get out of this rut,
And everybody, we're dropping T's GoFundMe. We are going to get her these injections she needs. Thank you, Blake Reed. Thank you, Blake. We are going to get her these injections. If you can't give a dime, that's okay, but could you please share her GoFundMe? Because she needs these injections, y'all. She needs to be able to get up and go forward without all of this trauma, without all of this, just the anxiety, everything that goes with it. She deserves better than this. And we can help her.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to the point
Anna,
where...
you had them, they helped you. Can we please share her GoFundMe, please?
Oh, thank you. It was so embarrassing.
Get a membership on T's. Hey, T's channel, go over there and grab a membership on her channel. Do whatever you got to do.
It's the cheapest one as well. I've done it's $1.49 in Aussie. Just the only reason I wanted to get monetized was so I could have funny emojis. But then I'm I actually quite like having the memberships as well, because I put OT9 and OT10.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen them. I'm a member on both channels. I gotta go look. That's cool.
So yeah, it's fun.
Tamper, your shots are covered by your insurance?
Trying to find a doctor to do the shots that are covered by our insurance. I think, so they don't have that in Australia. It's not, you can't, it's not covered, and they don't do it in Perth either. So I have to fly to Melbourne as the nearest place. So the other side of Australia, 4.5 hours. Yeah. I don't think I can afford to go with Jake this time. So he's just going to have to suck it up and stay with my friend. Oh no, can't, because it's, so yeah, I won't be able to get it done till the Easter holidays because they're not open at the weekends. So he'll have to stay with someone during the week. So that's when I'm looking to get it done. After Christmas, I've been offered a little bit more work at the school. I'll be doing Monday to Friday there. So I'll be on YouTube less. I might just do Monday to Thursday, so I can still do my Friday show. I don't know, or change the time of it or something. That's if Jake goes to school, because he hasn't gone to school for the last 4 months because he's been struggling. He's now depressed. I've just got into a rut where I don't know what it is. I just don't want to go out. The thought of going out, and I don't even know what it is. I
Okay, so
can't,
T,
I'm like
this is, we're not
paralyzed
going to
and
let this happen.
comfortable. I've just got too
We're
comfortable
not going to let this
being at
happen.
home. And so is he. He's safe at home, and that's when my stuff starts going on to him, that's when I just
Yeah.
have the whole circle of guilt, and this is my
And
fault,
so,
and
we stop now before it starts into this big cycle. You stop now. You get out. Even if you go down, if you go outside, take one step.
Do you know what he said to me yesterday? Because he wanted ice cream, and I was like, okay, I'll drive to the shop and get ice cream. He's obsessed with ice cream. I'll drive to the shop and get some ice cream. And he goes, no, Mum, walk down to because we've got like we call it a deli, but it's like a, like a shop, they do fish and chips and they do stuff like that. No, Mum, you can walk down to the deli and buy an ice cream there because you're fat and you need exercise and you need exercise. I'm like, could have said that a little bit nicer, but yeah, I agree with everything you said, and I did. I walked down there, so that was the first time I've been out that haven't involved driving.
But you know what?
No.
You did it.
Yeah, and I tell you what, walking, because we're on a hill, and walking up that hill, I was out of breath. It's got to the point where I put on all this weight that I am out of breath really easily.
So for your son and yourself, we're
my
going to
chest
start
is
getting
getting
out.
tight. I've been struggling to breathe a few times, so I think it's because of the weight. I don't know.
No, you just need to exercise, get out of that house.
I need to exercise. I've got very, very unfit, and I used to be really fit, so
just
yeah.
for you to feel better. You have to have happy endorphins, release all that dopamine.
And my house is a mess. I'm just so foggy here. I get so overwhelmed with everything that I don't do anything,
Okay, so
like
one step
it's
at a
too
time.
much. Yeah. And it's the summer holidays now. Yeah, Drop Bear. So Drop Bear wants to lose some weight and get healthy as well. And he said we're gonna go on Gen exercise. Gen exercise.
Being that is so sweet. Look, he says you got this, T. Both Indigo Twins says so. I think that probably sounds better in my head, but why not?
Oh yeah, no, I get that. Yeah. Thanks, Ben. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know.
T, one foot in front of the other, one step at a time. That's all you can do.
Yeah, and to finish the story off with my dad, the reason I was saying about my sister. So when my sister was there for 3 years, Sheena, the stepmom, was very, very controlling. So my sister would be running herself a bath. She'd go in and change the temperature and stuff like that.
Wow.
She was just on her case all the time, controlling what type of shampoo she had. She timed her phone calls. She was only allowed 15-minute phone calls, and it didn't matter whether she was in the middle of a conversation or whatever. The phone would get unplugged after 15 minutes. And I believe that's what she started doing with my dad, because the last phone call I had with him was I ended up crying because he asked me how I was doing. I try to avoid telling him that I'm actually really struggling and I'm, depressed or I haven't got out of bed today or whatever. I don't tell him that because I want him to be happy, he's in his last days. But I ended up crying, and I said, I'm really not doing well, Dad, and I never told him about the shots because I felt I couldn't, because I knew she'd criticize it, and she would criticize it and say it's woo science or whatever. And so anyway, he passed away and I couldn't get over there in time to say goodbye.
I know.
And then when I did, for people that don't know, so when I did get there, I wanted to go, like my other two sisters were with him. She controlled when they could see him and stuff, and told the nurse not to call me, or not to call one of the sisters, give updates, that she would do it, stuff like that, like still controlling. And so I've forgotten what happened. What I was saying. Yeah, I didn't get there to say goodbye. And then when I went to, so my family, all my family lives in England. The only person that was there was my dad and her. And I suggested, like, even though he'd passed and everything, we were waiting for the ashes. I was going to be there for 3 weeks because me and my sister had already arranged we'd booked this holiday to Bali where I was going to come from Australia because it's only 3.5 hours from Perth, and she was going to come from the UK with her husband, and we were going to have our little holiday together for like just 4 days. And I thought, well, 3 weeks would be enough because they paid for this package that was like the cheapest thing, no funeral, just to be literally put into a box of ashes, which I thought was really kind of, I don't know, that's what he wanted to do. I don't believe it. I don't believe it was because I don't know. She controlled everything he thought, and if it wasn't to her narrative, she would change it. Like there's been.
So don't give her any more power over you. You're done.
Oh no, I just want to explain what sort of a person and what she put me and my sisters through. She made she made 2 of her children power of attorney and stuff like that without even telling us. And my sister, my middle sister, she actually went out for a walk with my dad one day years ago, and he said that he wanted her to be power of attorney. And then like when they went home, and within a few hours she'd changed his mind. She just used to do stuff like that.
Unfortunately, because he was autistic, she knew how to control him.
Yeah. And and so it's just so infuriating, because I knew my dad and I knew certain things, and we couldn't even get a death certificate or anything. We couldn't. I don't know. What happened was, so I said, look, even though he'd passed, I said, maybe I could come up and we could have a meal together and, sort of have a little, some photos and stuff or whatever, just to sort of say goodbye together. You're right.
Okay, go ahead, honey. This is just my new normal. I'm going to have to get used to. Go ahead.
Yeah. She just rejected that idea, was made to feel unwelcome again.
Agree.
Yeah, I don't get it. She was severely abused as a child, in and out of foster care, had a very abusive relationship, marriage before my dad, and she has this need to control. And but if you know you're doing that and it's affecting the ones you love, then you've got to do something about it, surely. Or maybe it's too scary to face. I don't know. I do have empathy for her. I do. I can't help.
I don't know what to say except forward. Don't look back anymore. Your dad's not.
No, I know.
But you gotta. I know that there's things you have to work through. It's all.
I haven't thought about it. I haven't really thought about it for a few weeks now, and just I'm just only because I'm talking about it now.
I just want you to be able to be in a good space, and to do that, you're gonna have to put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, I know. It's just been so comfortable not dealing with it, avoiding it.
It's very comfortable, but guess what?
Yeah.
Sometimes the most uncomfortable step is the best one we take.
I know, yeah. So anyway, so I didn't get the ashes. This funeral director was meant to be taking care of it and stuff, and I'm waiting and asking maybe every 3-4 days. I didn't want to be nagging and stuff. Oh, we haven't heard anything. So me and my sister went off to Bali because it was on my way back to Australia.
Right.
And I was really sick, and I was sick the whole time I was in the UK.
God, you're so sick.
I was on 2 lots of antibiotics there, and then another one when I got back, and then and I had MRSA and all sorts of stuff. And in Bali, I was sick. It was weird. I was sick for the first 2 days. The first 2 days I was in bed. Mm-hmm. I think I came out briefly and spoke to you.
Yeah, you did.
I can't remember what day it was. And then the next 2 days I was still sick, but not as sick. It was enough to go out. So I had 2 days out with my sister and stuff. Yeah, it was just horrendous. And after the first 2 days I was there, I got a phone call from my sister saying that the funeral director had cremated my dad and not told anyone. Oh, bless you, Keela. Not told anyone, not even his wife. So
that is horrible.
And it had happened. It had happened the following the previous Thursday when I was in the UK.
I gotta give Pinch. Hey Becky, I'm with you.
I know, yes. So I'm still still want to believe in people, I guess.
You do need to believe in people. Please don't ever stop believing in people.
Well,
Don't ever stop believing in people. Just be careful.
I keep going on about YouTube and how it's helped me, and it has like sort of brought back my faith in humanity. You know, with there's so many beautiful people here, and
it's kind of strange. It's kind of strange, Tia. You're absolutely right, because I think I've been hurt the worst ever on this platform, but I've also found the best friends on this platform that I could never replace. You being one of them.
And I think actually that's probably maybe the biggest thing I've learned is, you know, is to recognize those red flags. Is to teach them to others, because I wasn't aware. I didn't think that some girl saying I was her bestie was a red flag. I thought that was a positive thing. But it's, you know,
Journey.
Oh, sweetheart, yeah. I hope you feel a bit better being on here.
I know. Journey is just the sweetest person.
She's so lovely, yeah. We love you, Journey.
Yes, very much.
I'm always here for you as well. Like, yeah. So I don't know. Anyway, that's where it's at, and that just devastated me, like, as well. And you know, maybe if we'd been made power
Indigo, you're right. You're right, Indigo, right there.
Yeah, I know.
Believe what people show you. She has shown you she's a bad person. Look at all you went through and what love and compassion you still have.
Oh, blimey, Blake.
Blake Reed, what did you do? What did Blake? Every time you take a step, remember those who try to stop you will have to get over it, because that's their problem. Every time you take another step, smile and tell yourself, I'm still moving. I love you, Blake. Thank you.
Thank you, Blake. You do. That was very, very. He is very sweet, isn't he, Body Illusion?
Blake,
yeah.
Let me tell you something. That's my wise young man right there. He was on the phone with me the entire time I was trying to get this hair curled today. We were sitting in I was in my bathroom talking to Blake.
Oh, Journey, that's not good to hear.
Journey, we've all got to get together. We do. Yeah. I can't do it tonight, and I wish I could, because I want this to be about tea. But
I'm nearly done. It's all right.
No, I better
go make some lunch.
We all need to get together. Journey and all of us, everyone over here. That's just because, let me tell you something. This is our family.
Yeah, that's right. That's right, Becky.
It's our chosen family.
I mean, and that's right, the thing, Becky? And that's why it's become so comfortable, because I feel safe, because you can just delete people, you can block people, you can shut it down.
That's right.
Whereas in the real world, it's almost like it's more real time. And if I'm stuck in a situation, I don't know how I'm going to be, and I feel like I say the wrong things to people, and you know, it's a lack of confidence, you know. Yeah.
Katie says you guys are my contact with the world. It's hard. It is hard.
Same. Yeah, it's the same with me, Katie, and it's an avoidance of the real world, but at the same time, it's my savior. So it's like, you know, what do you do? Yeah, I don't know. So that's where I'm at. So yeah, he passed away. I just feel like if we'd been made power of attorney, her kids are all got like high up jobs, their own houses and everything, and they have very, very busy lives. Whereas me, I have a lot of time, and I'd be calling that bloody funeral directors every day, and I would have known, you know. And I didn't know anything, and I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, and I don't even know if she feels bad that she messed up or whatever.
I mean, it doesn't matter though. So I'm going to tell you. Let me tell you what I learned.
I guess it's me I want her to be accountable. I want to tell her and for her to be accountable. And it's just a waste of energy.
First thing you have to accept. Okay, first thing you have to accept. What others do is out of your control. You have no control over other people's actions. Only you can control your actions and your space. What others think about you and talk about you is none of your business. It's just not. And that's not being mean. That's just, I've had to learn these. What others say about me is none of my business, and what others think about me is none of my business, because I can't control that aspect of it. But what
they do that affects you and your family, like, you know, why not make his own daughter's power of attorney? Like, what is the deal with that?
But you can't go back.
It's not okay.
It might not be okay, but you can't change it.
her control is hurting people. And actually as well, when my sisters were in the hospital and got to spend time with some of their step freaking siblings of 32 years that they don't know either, they said, yeah, mum's always been very controlling and we don't understand why we've been kept apart. So I feel like, you know, to a certain extent, she does need to be held accountable. She needs to be made aware of these things because she's going to continue
She's
to be
aware.
hurting people.
She's aware, or she wouldn't be doing them. She's aware.
I don't know.
You have to maintain your boundaries.
I
You
don't
have
think she's.
to.
I think she's aware of what she's doing, but I don't think she's aware of the effects.
Oh, she's aware. I've listened for 30. I've listened to you tell me. She's very aware. Why do you think she's doing it?
Because she needs to feel in control and she wants it all
That's
to go her
right.
way. But then she's
That's
just thinking
right.
to herself, but she's not thinking, well, hang on a minute, this is hurting my
No,
children.
she doesn't care. There's no
Doesn't
reason
care
to
about her
think
own
about it.
children. I don't know.
T, you can't make anyone change, but you can keep yourself sane.
Oh no, I don't want to change her. I'd love her to get help. I'd love her to get help.
But you can't make that happen. And
Yeah.
I hate that for you that I have to say that, but you know what? Jake is your responsibility and you are your responsibility. You
No, I
don't
know, and
owe
that's
her.
why
She
I
is
don't have
aware.
the energy. I don't have the energy
No.
for it. But it's, you know.
She's aware, and you're burning up the energy in your space and time in your head about her when she's very aware of what she's doing to people. Don't let her fool you. That's
Well, I mean, I haven't let her in my head for. I mean,
that's good. I'm proud
since
of you.
it all happened, I have let it go. I haven't been festering on it or anything. I don't have the energy to do it anyway, you know. So
right.
Yeah.
Violet said she is aware. T. She does not care.
Yeah, and I can see everyone saying
yeah,
it.
I mean, it's the truth. You can't sometimes see things when you're on the inside of something. Like if it would have been me, but people on the outside can look in and see all very clearly.
I know, right? Yeah. It just makes me feel sick then that people are like that. I don't know. I always think there's a reason why people, you know, are like that. And I was like that through my pregnancy. And I had my friend in the little country town and she said, and I'm like making up excuses for Adam. And she's like, T, sometimes you've just got to accept that people are, and she said the very bad word beginning with a C.
People are bad.
Yeah. And I was like, no, but still have a bit of hope.
What did Journey say? Wait, what did Journey say? T, there are people out there that don't care that they negatively affect people and are proud of it. It's not okay. But it's not okay. But I'm thankful I get the hell out of their way and far away from them. Yes, Journey.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, with Adam's mum, I can see that she's a narcissist and everything, and she doesn't care. She doesn't care. She abandoned her children and all of that. But with Sheena, she has done everything and controlled everything so that her kids do have a good life, that they had careers. Yeah. She controlled them. She made sure they did their education, and a lot of it has been really, really good, you know. Because I know she did that because of the way she treated my sister, but. I don't know.
Wait, Swedish Lena, what she
We've got some caps going on.
T, please listen to Keela. This is all calculated actions from her, and she is very aware what she is doing. Though. I know from personal experience. Swedish Lena, thank you. Yes, absolutely, you are correct, 100%.
I just don't get the motive behind making her kids power of attorney. What is she getting out of that? I mean,
does it matter?
She fucked up.
Yeah, but does it matter?
She didn't get to know when her husband's ashes were because they didn't have the time. Like,
they don't care.
Ugh.
I'm sure there was I'm sure there's a reason, but you know what? Don't let it frustrate you and set you back, honey. You're very. And I still
don't have the ashes, and you know my two sisters are supposed to be going up there and doing their thing up there without me because I'm here, and it's just I can't go over there again. I've been over 3 times in 12 months because my mum had cancer back in I don't even know what you know. I had to go over there and help her. I went over for my initial visit, then my mum got cancer, I went over again, and then my dad died and I went over again. So I've been over 3 times in 12 months and I'm absolutely brassically skint because of it. So so then when my dad passed, I got we all got $2,000 or $2,000 from his estate. And I've put that into the shops. Well, I've spent I've spent some money now for Christmas, because I didn't have any money. I've got to have money for presents because I haven't been able to work as much because of Jake being off school. So I've only been working sort of 2-3 days a week. Yeah. So in the end, the money I got off him, he did help me, because I knew I couldn't ask him. I had my GoFundMe. I sent it to my family and stuff. And
absolutely, Katie. I agree with you 100% right there.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
she obviously trusts them more than her late husband's offspring, probably because she has groomed them to be compliant and submissive to her.
Exactly,
Absolutely agree with that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Katie said, let karma get her. The best thing for you is to live your best life. Absolutely.
That's a very good point, actually, Drop Bear. Yeah, I reckon that's the answer, isn't it? Yeah. And she didn't know us, but why didn't she know us? Because that was her choice, I guess.
That was her choice. You can't control that. You can't go back and change it, but you can go forward with a lot of support from a lot of people here.
Yeah. Because she couldn't handle it. She couldn't handle us wild childs that had no
she wasn't able
guidance.
to control.
Yeah. Yeah,
she was
exactly.
not able to control.
And in fact, after 3 years, she sent my sister back down again in the middle of her final exams. So my poor sister had been rejected by her mum and then rejected by the dad, and she's got abandonment issues now as well. It's just terrible.
But here we go back to generational cycle, generational trauma. That's what's going to continue in that family. But you can stop that here.
Yeah. No, my sister will never let her kids feel abandoned either, and she's she's got a lovely family with her husband.
You have an actual miracle right here in front of you. When you get to step forward, you do what you got to do to live and survive. You do what you have to do to thrive and to make a wonderful life for Jake. And we're going to give your YouTube community and family here. We're going to get those shots. We're going to get them.
Do you know what Jake said to me yesterday? You know what he said to me yesterday? He goes, Mum, what if you get the shots and they don't work? And I thought, oh, for fuck's sake. Don't say that to me. But he's got a point. But, everyone I know that's had them done, it's changed their lives. So, yeah.
And you've done so much for everybody, T. Just let us do for you.
Well, we'll see what happens. But I'm definitely going to be.
You worry about Christmas for Jake right now. You worry about all that good stuff. You just have, and you know that we love you and we've got you. I want you to know that.
I sent you something yesterday. Should arrive tomorrow.
Oh, T. Y'all, I was out of it so bad last night. And she's the only one I could talk to. She was so tired.
Okay. I'm always here. Because we're in different time zones, so yeah.
I was just like, it was the worst thing ever last night. It was the worst night ever, but I finally did go to sleep. And thank you all, everyone that helped with that.
Yeah. Oh God. All right. So I guess that's my story. Let me see if I got any in my notes. Hang on, I've got my notes here.
Yes.
What did I learn?
What did we learn from
one important thing that I wanted to point out about my mum, right? So remember I said that when my stepdad got touchy-feely that I told her and there was no response.
Yes.
So I spent decades thinking that she didn't care. When I went over, I think she was just about to start her cancer treatment, and that's when I first was talking about putting the report in on Roy.
Yes.
She went through all her diaries from that time period with me, and she was having such a hard time, and I didn't realize how bad it was. She was dealing with an alcoholic. Hello.
Hello, Abraham.
Nice to see you. Yeah. She was dealing with a lot of stuff that I didn't realize at the time. He was out cheating on her. He was an alcoholic, and every page was
steps.
Yeah.
You followed.
Yeah. So every page was every page was like, oh, he's drunk again, he hasn't come home, or down the police station, and all of this stuff all the time. And I don't know, I had to bring it up with her. I said, do you remember that time? And I said that this had happened and da-da-da. And she went, no. And I went, yeah. And I said, you didn't do anything. And she said, I must have not heard you. Like she was so shocked. She was like, what the hell? And she started crying. And my mum, she's not that good at showing emotions and stuff, but I could genuinely see the shock in her. She hadn't heard me. She didn't know. She said, there's no way he would have been in my house if I'd known he'd done that, And so
believe her
all
then.
of this time, I believe her.
That.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I believe her. And I could tell by her face, she went white. She did not know. And so all of those decades, I thought that she didn't give a shit and she was this horrible person. And she didn't know. Like, and then she goes, that makes sense. What happened to my younger sister?
Right.
That night, she said, I didn't know what to think. Oh my God, and then she's just shocked again. Oh my God, all these times and all these things started clicking for her. So for people thinking that my mum was like a pedo enabler or anything like that, no, she's like,
Sometimes when we're young, we're not heard. That's why you have to keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and what else? There was more stuff about Roy, and I don't know. I feel like I've lost quite a few people in my life. Like I say, my friend Tina, I think, was murdered by her husband. I also had a boyfriend who unalived himself when I was 15, very briefly, but yeah, that was a horrible story as well. I don't know, one of the things in my mum's diary, she came around to see me once and I'd forgotten, which really triggered me and stuff. I was lying down on the sofa and I wouldn't get up because all of the bruises were on that side of the body, stuff like that. What else? What's that one? Oh yeah, I've said all that already. The red flags with the bestie. I think I've actually said it all. Just weird stuff that Roy did. Like he played this pain game with me where he'd say, I'm going to teach you it was either to enjoy pain or not feel pain. And he would do this thing where he'd get like the baseball bat or whatever weapon and he'd hit me on all the, the elbows, the knees and the side of, the knobbly bit on your ankle.
Oh
and he would
my
just
God.
keep doing it. And like if I responded, he would like do something else or whatever, and that would go on for hours and hours. And that reminds me a tiny bit of like what Scientology does with the desensitizing you to stuff.
That's
Do you know what I mean?
The bull baiting.
So I actually don't, I wonder if it's because of that, but I do have a very high pain threshold. I don't know if it's because of that, but it's just messed up stuff. That's what I mean. He did messed up stuff like that. And that's like a mild thing. Non-sexual thing. Do you know what I mean? It's just gross.
You do need those. I agree with you, and that's why I promote it every time that you're on here. We can get you these injections done, guys. Please share the hell out of her GoFundMe, her link tree. We've got to get T some help, please.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel
I have submitted my paperwork for my nonprofit to YouTube, and if I can get it approved, I will be holding a fundraiser for
oh God. Wow. But that's what I want to do is I'd love to start like when I'm better. I just feel like I'm so foggy and I'm just stuck in this rut. I've tried therapy, I've hit a wall with that. And it's meant to make all the overgrowth of the nerves grow back, reset your system and all of that. And I don't know. I know it's not gonna be like shots and go, woo, I'm normal.
No.
It's going to take work, and I'll hopefully go back to therapy because my brain will allow me to intake this stuff and process it. Because at the moment,
you're at a block now, so it doesn't matter what therapy you go to, it's not going to be effective.
Well, yeah, that's what I realized. I stopped going. Yeah.
Katie, you're right. Katie, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, y'all, yeah. T is almost at 2,000 subscribers. If you haven't, please go subscribe to her. Go subscribe to her, T. Yay.
What? I'm going to look at my channel. Hang on.
Congratulations.
How many have I got? 1.88. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Okay. That's so cool. And and Katie, right. That's true.
Katie's right. Yeah.
There was a lot of times where he threatened to take my life, so yeah, I mean, and it happens a lot in domestic violence with men and women where, they punch in the wrong place or you can have what they call a king hit in Australia where they hit you in a certain place, you're instantly dead, so it's, yeah, I think a lot, I like to hear I'd love to, I don't know, I'd love to start a foundation here to support survivors, you know, from cults, from domestic violence, to raise funds for people here to have the shots, all sorts of stuff, you know, not if I get better, when I get better.
No, you're going to get better, my love. You are.
When my capacity is better, you know, I don't know. That's what I want to do. I want to make a difference. I want to make a difference in the world and be a safe person to come to, and all of that, because I've learned, you know, there are safe people out here, that people have been here for me, and yeah, make a stamp in your, make a, what do you call it, you know, when you leave this world, have a positive impression on the
what I always
world,
say.
and
I want to
pass
leave the
it on,
world
you know.
better. I want this
Yeah,
world better than when I found it.
yeah,
I
yeah,
just want to
yeah. I mean,
leave this world better
we're
than
not
when
going to
I
change
found
the
it.
world, but every person matters, right? You know.
But yes,
Um,
it just takes one thing at a time.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's my story, I guess. To be
Oh my
continued.
gosh, this is. I was trying to do something here, and it wants to be.
31 smart comments. No. All
Let's
right. So
see if
some
I
of them
can.
are.
There is T's channel. Please
Thank you.
subscribe if you haven't.
I do want to branch out from Scientology as well. I want to, you know, help out in other areas as well.
Yeah, that's our channel. Let's try to get her over that.
Thanks, guys.
Let's just get her like everyone did us. We all pull together. We're a dead gum good community, and we support each other so much. So y'all, please subscribe to her.
I can't put comments up, but I'm reading some of them. So
Red will get to the start and start bringing them up.
Okay. Whoops. What have I got going on here? Hey, Red. I've just seen the private chat. See ya. Hello. You've gone and come back again.
Oh, is she? Oh, I didn't check that. Hang on.
Yeah. Oh, there's so many.
Oh, she's back. Sorry.
Yeah, she went and came back.
Okay, she's gonna. We got you. Oh, thank you, Indigo. Thank you. I know, and y'all have. I'm not alone. I know that.
Yeah.
Nico, I'm down with a cold right now. Coughing, fuzzy brain. It sucks weekend with my kids, and I'm sleeping most of it. Sorry, Nico.
Just snuggle up with some movies when I'm ill. We're just like, right, let's have what they call a doona day, and you know, just put on some really good, cool movies together and get some popcorn, and you know.
Oh wait, look, she said, because it's the other day when I said I haven't gotten sick in so long. Did you say it on Friday the 13th?
Oh, you jinxed it.
Full moon?
Oh,
Nico,
I hope you feel better soon.
Look at that. T, I didn't want my kids to have a broken home either. Broke some of the cycles, but that was one necessary for safety. You're right.
Yeah. And to be honest, if he was still alive, that, you know, I don't, you know, I wouldn't, he said, you know, he was an alcoholic, and his dad was an alcoholic, and he always said, like, so his dad one day decided, right, that's it, I'm done with drinking. He just stopped, and he was the best dad ever. He was a really cool dad. He goes, and I want to do that one day. I'm thinking, well, can you fucking hurry up and get on with it? You know?
Come on now. What are you waiting on next
Now's
week?
the time. You know, but I did hold hope that he would change, and he would, you know, me again, believing in people.
Don't stop ever believing in people.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether it would have worked out or not. You know, I still loved him, and I was still, you know.
The fear of becoming what my mom was, an addict, an alcoholic, was huge. It's still there, but not as big as it used to be. Meds have really helped anxiety and steep depression.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nico.
Yeah, and I mean, and that's another thing that a couple of people have said to me: how you have not ended up turning to drugs or alcohol and becoming a drug addict. I mean, I drank a lot of alcohol when I was younger, but I was never an alcoholic. I was never,
because you're a very strong person, T. That's why.
I think that I was partying a lot, and it was avoidance. You know. Yeah.
Don't we all do that?
Well, not anymore. I can't be bothered.
No, I'm not talking about party. I'm talking avoidance.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
I think we've gotten really good at avoidance.
I have a friend who's 10 years older than me, my best friend in the UK, and she still wants to go out like dancing and drinking and that. And I'm like, oh, can we just go to like a comedy club or something? You know, like I just don't want to. I feel so crap the next day after drinking, you know.
I don't even drink.
Really boring person.
I don't drink. I'm really boring.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it boring if you don't drink? There's other ways to have fun, isn't there? So
Yeah, there is really. Oh,
thank
Skylight, thank you, T, for
you for
sharing your
listening.
story.
Thank you for listening. I
I
hope
had
it
to turn this
wasn't
fan
too
back on me. Here we go
depressing.
again. Good Lord, does this ever stop? Oh,
What's going on?
I had to turn the fan back on again.
Oh
Whew.
gosh.
It goes away and then it comes back. I'm sorry I'm late. Funny enough, I was watching Keela's Christmas party on replay and didn't know you were streaming here.
Oh.
Hey, I had 10 minutes to get one place to the other.
I know, you've done so well. I'm honestly, I feel so honoured that you put so much effort in just for little old me, you know?
You're my friend, and you're important.
Thank you.
If you could slap T's like button and subscribe, please do
always says
that.
this. It's a bit cheeky. And give the bell a little tickle. He's a cheeky one. Yeah. To communicate that they're not okay differently. Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's his communication. It was the same for everything. It was just his hitting, you know? And he's stopped. He only stopped doing that like a year ago, really, because I said, you know, you're getting bigger now and it's starting to hurt.
Yeah. My sister's autistic. She too only started speaking at 4. My mother did homework with her until she got a degree and a job. Now she's an accountant with a family. Be patient. Jake will find his passion. That's
you know, and that's the thing with the avoidance is
yeah.
And I feel so ashamed of saying it and stuff, but I've let him go on the iPad a lot and he's very addicted now, and it's literally like he can't function without it. It takes it to the toilet, you know, and that's so bad. But when I try to think of something else to do with him, I just don't know what to do, and I feel so overwhelmed with it, and I don't know. He's into the anime. I'd usually take him out to do something like there's an anime like a market, you know, we go around and look at all the stalls and see all the people in the cosplay. I took him to Comic-Con, but it was too noisy for him.
Yeah.
You know, so I need to find some stuff. Actually, I keep forgetting there's an observatory, you know, to do the planets and stuff. Yeah, in Perth. So I might.
Oh my God. See, I'm the astronomy freak, so yes, that would be great.
Oh, are you? Oh, my dad was. He was the best.
Girl,
yeah.
let me tell you, I've got every picture of every full moon, I think, in the last 10 years. My phone zooms in to 100 times more than my telescope does. And I can get the craters on the moon. Yeah. Wow. Which I'll fix it to go out if the clouds ever go away.
I got a really cool picture of Saturn, actually, when there was a time recently, a couple of years ago, where it was like, see it. Yeah, I can see the rings and everything in my photo. Yep. It's really good.
I posted some.
Well, I'll have to share my photos.
Yes, because I love it.
No, I went to like the Greenwich. what's it called? The Greenwich Observatory in London, where the lines cross or something like that, and they have a telescope and you can look into it and you can see Saturn as well. And I got my phone and I lined it up in front of the telescope, and then I put it on zoom. I put it on a certain lens or whatever, and it's a really clear photo of Saturn. It's really cool.
Nico's right. Jupiter's been so bright because it's got 52 moons, so it has really been coming in with the full moon, with our full moon, and with the light. And Jupiter's been really, really bright, but Jupiter has 52 moons, so it's gonna. Yeah, I think it's beautiful.
72.
72.
Let me ask Jake because he will know. Hang on.
Oh, ask Jake. I've got fog brain. I love that kid. What did he say so funny?
He's having an intense battle. Leave me alone, he says. And huh? I don't know what he said. No, he said he doesn't remember. I think he's just trying to fob me off, so I leave him alone. But I thought it was 72. I don't know.
You know what? We're going to ask Siri. Let's ask Siri. Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. How many moons does Jupiter have?
I bet you're right.
Jupiter has 80 known moons.
Oh my God. Okay, I was nowhere close to that. I thought it was 52. 80.
89. 80. Wow.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so how did I not know? I swear, I
Well, I thought it was
watched.
79. Yeah, we were both wrong. So yeah.
Wow.
Okay, well, learn something new every day.
Yes, we do, and that's one of my goals, to learn something new every day. So
Yeah, they must have found another one. But
I guess
you know, like,
so. Wow.
you know how
Hmm.
damn it, I can't find it. So you know how like Pluto was announced, like it's been denounced from being a planet.
So when does that happen? I just don't understand that.
Well,
I know.
I don't
I
know.
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I don't know. So anyway, we were like, no, and we're like pro Pluto, and Pluto deserves to be a planet, and all of this. And we went to like the they got like a science museum, and I made us both T-shirts saying, you know,
Oh,
Pluto and stuff like that. We used to do stuff like that. No, he just doesn't want to do it. You know, he's oh, that's cringe. You know, he's
you know
having
what?
cookies.
Exposure therapy. Take him out one thing at a time. You know, just a little bit at a
He will
time.
not. He just kicks up shit when I try and get him out. Like he won't get dressed, right? So unless I physically, I'm not going to hold him down and take his
Right.
clothes off, you know, like
Right.
he's
Yeah.
just started puberty and his body's changing and he's, you know, he's filling out and stuff. And it's physically impossible and I don't want to distress him, but I do gently try and encourage him. That's all I can do, you know, like, or do a lot of rewards and things like that.
T, the
Yeah.
more I learned about you, your story, the more I love you, your precious soul. Take a breath and realize how far you've come. It's incredible. Don't focus on the road ahead. Today is jealous of tomorrow. I love that, Katie.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks so much.
She is a precious soul. She is. I talk to her all the
I'm not
time.
very good at taking compliments if you hadn't noticed. I'm like, oh.
But she's still, T, you are the epitome of what a mother. You know, we've been doing a mother's love. Well, I attempted it yesterday for my mom, but things didn't go so well. But my communication things. But you are a great mom. You have a great
Thank you.
son, and you have broken those curses, those
I know.
traumas.
I've just had a couple of 4 years where I've kind of haven't been doing that. Well, maybe
But
2
look what you
years.
did. You're where you said you wanted to live. You are where you said you were going to be. I
And
mean,
I'm raising him without a family. He's got no
okay,
family.
but you know what?
I don't know.
You're his family. You can't force
Yeah.
anyone else. He's yours. There's no one else on this earth that can claim him. He's yours.
Yeah.
You're not doing him wrong. You are a great mother.
Thank you.
I see him. I know how happy he is. Like, T, every time we see you smile and hear your accent and see your beautiful blue hair, I can't believe anyone would ever treat you that way. Please never leave us. We'll treat you right, my friend. Yes, we will.
It's only just become real blue hair. It was a wig. Right? And
yeah, you had your wig. Yeah.
This is real now. Yeah. And I got my Thetans from Feral Cheryl, and I've got the yellow one in the background there. That's Jakey's one. And so with my old wig, I made hair.
Oh, look how cute!
And then I've got a little Santa hat for it for my next Friday night stream. So yeah, because I have a regular show every Friday, A Voice Down Under, where I talk about Scientology shenanigans in Australia. Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was really cool.
That is so cute. And Barbie says that is really cute, though. But Barbie said, "T, we are listening to your story because we want to be here."
Thank you. I appreciate it. I just hope that people can take something from it. Yeah, I don't know.
No,
learn something from it.
I heard an awesome anecdote from my granddad, which read as, "How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. Try using this tea." Yeah, I agree with that. That's so great.
Yes, Nico. Yes, to me, dwarf planet equals planet still. Yes,
Yep.
And that was what we said. Oh, I wish I could find the picture of our T-shirts that we had and everything. It was really good. It was a good day.
Merch incoming, guys. LOL.
Do you know, I went on Fourth Wall yesterday and I was trying to upload the pictures to the T-shirts, but they have to be like real PNGs.
Oh,
like
yeah. I use Adobe. No, look, use Adobe Express. Adobe, and it'll download it as transparent background, PNG.
Adobe
Express. Adobe Express.
Adobe Express. I'm going to put that in the thing now so that I don't forget.
That is the only one that I'm comfortable enough to use in for my merch. and it downloads the transparent backgrounds.
Okay,
Great.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. I've
You're
got that on my to-do list.
Yes.
All right. Well, are you going to bed tonight?
I am, because I'm shaking. I didn't take the amount prescribed of steroids today because I didn't want to feel like I was last night.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'm hurting. So it's either go get on my heating pad, which I'm already burning up, so I don't know how that's going to work. Soon as I got into the bed, though, my feet cramped. I had to stand up on the side of my bed and lay my head forward and sleep halfway standing up.
So what's making them cramp? Is that is it restless legs or?
No, I mean, like my hands were cramping, my feet were cramping. Everything just at one time went off like that.
Yeah, right. Okay.
I think it's with me shaking so bad with these meds.
Yeah, it's awful.
But tonight I'm going to go to sleep because I'm very emotional, I think. Wait, steroids are frustrating. This phone, yes. But T, please don't equate family with being happy. Look at your own family and Jake's family. They were something that made you. Were they something that made you happy? What makes you think that would bring Jake any happiness? Oh my God, Swedish Lynn, I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is when we went over and we lived there for 20 months, him and his cousin, so he has a cousin that's 6 months apart, and they were thick as thieves, best mates, and then I took him away from that, and I felt so bad, and they had a really good connection, and they've kept up the connection online, and they play games on together online, but the last sort of year or two, his cousins matured a lot more, and so they're on different levels. They're not, and so he doesn't really have I guess, family doesn't have to be blood.
No. Can I tell you one thing? It's called #chosen family for a reason.
Yeah, true.
All my chosen family.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted, someone to play with.
There
and
you
hang
go,
out
Marilyn.
with.
T, you have chosen family who love you without reservation.
Thank you.
That is so true.
She's my adopted mama, Merrily. She's
so
lovely.
true.
I was saying to Jake yesterday, I love the name Merrily. It's such a pretty name.
That is beautiful. And that's like with Marie. She's my Facebook mom. She's Facebook mom or YouTube mom.
Thank you,
Thank
Tamber
you,
Jane.
Tamber.
Thank you.
Yeah, we're just a big fat mess blob, but you know what? We're all beautifully broken. And when we're all put back together, we make one beautiful family portrait.
Yeah, thank you. So I was just reading all these comments. But Indigo, I knew you would come up with a thing explaining the dwarf planet. It's not large enough to clear its orbit, and there are other dwarf planets beyond it. So it's not large enough like Earth or Jupiter. That's the science reason.
Tammy.
I know.
Yes, Barbie, we are messy, but we are lovable too.
Yeah. I know that's the scientific reason, but I just feel bad for Pluto, and I think that it's been included all this time in the 9 planets.
That's right. If they named
and just, give him a break.
They named him. You can't take his name away. Come on.
Yeah. It's part of history, I'm still trying to find this bloody picture where we went out.
I like what Katie just said. People come in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Absolutely.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
And I think each part of that, Katie, you're right. It teaches us something.
Yeah. Oh, where is it? I guess SciTech. It's a really nice memory because they've got like a planetarium there, where the whole the dome with all the planets, and it's just insane.
I'm not on prednisone, sweetheart, Swedish Lena. I'm on dexamethasone, whatever it is, and it's way worse than I've ever had anything in my life affect me. Like when I'm sitting, it is like I'm vibrating constantly. My insides are vibrating out. But I didn't take the dose I was supposed to take today because I had to go into my last day of work today. And when I went in, the knots, they just pop up. They're just popping up. They were all on my back and my neck. And I'm going to get through this. I'm going to find that happy medium that I can live with.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you something. Now I just wish they would have said surgery. It was something wrong with my neck. And it would have been. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm taking, Tamber, right there. And it is horrible. But it keeps the pain away.
Because you're allergic to painkillers,
Yes, I cannot take any painkillers.
which is just insane. Yeah.
And I mean, I literally have knots just coming up on my back, going down, coming up on my shoulder, coming up everywhere. Now I understand what. No, I have Flexeril for the muscle relaxer, and that's the only way I went to sleep last night. Is I had to take my Xanax, which I take for my seizures anyway. I had to take my Xanax, my seizure medication, the muscle relaxers, and everything last night. And I finally got in my heating blankets, and I finally stopped the cramps, and then I finally went to sleep. And I slept for 6 hours, and that was the most amazing feeling in the world when I woke up.
Yeah, I usually get 6 hours a night, and I feel like I still need more, you know?
I'm gonna have to find that medium there, but I will. But that medicine that Tamber said, yes, that's what it is. And I've never in my life felt like that ever. I take one, and it's like a rat on acid. That's what I feel like. Like
Oh my
nothing
God.
stops. It's just woo.
That's horrible.
Yeah,
Oh,
and it makes you shake.
okay. Yeah.
Right now, don't call my mom. She's not feeling so well. But I love y'all.
I missed that. What did you say? Call your mum or something?
Yeah, my mom took after I had surgery. My mom took all my phones away from me for 2 weeks because I couldn't. They didn't want me bending my neck, and no one could get a hold. I know you are, and no one could get a hold of me, and they had to go through her. And they were. She took my phones away. I know you are. Thank you, Indigo.
Oh my gosh.
She truly took my phones away for 2 weeks. Everybody thought I was like dead. They couldn't get a hold of me.
Wow.
But she was just worried about me. She didn't want
Just
me
trying to help you
myself.
out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm still looking for the Pluto photos.
oh, that's fine.
I used to make so many cool things as well. Like, I could send it to you through Facebook, but I don't know.
So don't start doing again. Wait, what you said, the cramping and the shaking are so frustrating with steroids. I wish you had a relaxed night tonight for both of you. Both deserve it. Tamber, I've never felt like this in my life. Like, I don't know. This is weird. I feel like I'm in let me put it this way. How did I describe it today? I said I feel like my mind is in a bubble in the future somewhere. And I just haven't, it's like brain fog, but I haven't reached where my brain's at yet, like where my thoughts are going. So I'm kind of just stuck. It's so weird, y'all. I swear to God, it's like I'm, what do you call it? Thank you, Marilee. I mean, I don't even know what, it's like another dimension. Thank you. There you go. She said it.
Yeah, right.
That is exactly what I feel like. I'm never in my life felt like this. Don't worry.
And that's why I keep saying,
get her out and about. Thank you. Like your consciousness vibrating out of your brain. That's exactly right, Blake. Thank you. That's how I feel.
I don't need someone to kick me up, y'all. I have a friend that messages me every few days and goes, do you want to come to the park? Do you want to come fishing and stuff like that? And I just go, oh, and I avoid it. But I did get him to go fishing the other day, and he didn't catch anything, and he just, it was a bit poo. So no, he doesn't want to do it again.
Like a blanket. Yes, I sleep on a heating blanket. I have a heating blanket on top of me and a heating pad behind my neck. Gosh. So I have a heated weighted heated blanket. Y'all have more heating pads and heating blankets in this house than probably anybody ever. And I go in there, turn them on. I turn them all on, push the covers all up. So when I crawl in, the heat is there.
Yeah, blimey. And then now you're feeling humid in winter.
I know, and I'm burning up. It's so hot outside, and I'm Blake Reed. What did you do, sweetheart? I took a daytime decongestant once late at night by accident, and it was an immediate panic attack. You had to literally walk it off for 3 hours. That is how I feel every single second of every single day that I'm in a panic attack. I literally, my heart feels like it's about to bust out of my hand. Angry? No. Yeah. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. When my daughter was on very high dose steroids, she was shaking, angry, anxious. It felt like her heart was jumping. That's it. It's her heart. I'm telling you, I feel like a rat on acid. I'm living in my own hell.
Oh, that's amazing, Marilee. I remember you saying about the ashes being shot into space. Yeah.
That is so neat. Oh,
A
wow.
memorial at a planetarium would be
Oh, my God. I
beautiful.
love that.
That would be so
That
beautiful.
would.
I know she
Wow.
told me how much it cost to set them off into space, like, because I'd love to do that for my dad. He was really into astronomy. He loved, oh God, what
Thank
was
you
the
for
guy's
that.
name? The guy with the blooming monocule thing. It was Patrick something. I can't remember his name. He was brilliant. Yeah, he'd be right into, like, he was right into the astronomy stuff. Patrick.
I love astronomy.
I've got to look it up now. Patrick. Who did I do a stream by myself about this? Because I must have done. I was talking about my stuff. Patrick.
Stuart.
Not Patrick Stewart. That's Picard, isn't it? He did love Star Trek. Astronomer.
Patrick Moore.
Patrick Moore, that's it, yeah. Who got it? That was you. I knew you'd remember. Yeah. Yeah, he used to watch him all the time. If you look him up, he's
I will.
passed away now.
Oh, I would
Yeah.
definitely will.
But that's the sort of level of astronomy my dad was on. He'd be learning about, like, white dwarfs and exoplanets
I
and stuff, like,
know.
right into it.
I watch on TikTok, See the Skies. Me and Roman.
I don't know.
His name is Roman.
I'm not into it.
He says he has a TikTok channel because he does live on the planets and the dwarfs and the everything. And I love watching Roman. Me and Roman, we talk. He's got all kind of things, telescopes. It's amazing. And I'll just sit there and watch him. And I'll talk to him. He's like, "Hey, Keela, it's been a while." He's so sweet.
Yeah, I should.
He's actually in Kansas City, Missouri is where he's at. That's where and he goes by he's got all kind of things. Indigo, child lovelies, I got to sleep, but much love to T and K. I'm going to. Mental health matters, found him. Absolutely.
Yeah. I need to go and make some lunch. It's nearly 2:00 here, so.
Gosh, Lee, it's midnight here now. So.
It's been on nearly 3 hours.
I love you, and I love all
you,
of
Jenny.
you.
Please message me if you need to talk. I'll have do a phone call, and yeah, that woman's annoyed me that we're following. I can just tell you now quickly, if that's all right. So the woman we've been following and exposing the Africa thing. So
yes.
she she's got a website where she gets donations off people, and she had a platform on the site, and I got that taken down. I told them that she was a scammer, and they took it down.
Good.
But now she's got another one, and it's based in Edmonton, where she used to live, I believe. Journey. Oh, she's gone. I don't know if she's gone. And you have to sign into the website to do it, and all of this, and I'm not doing that, and them having my details. And I've messaged the company, and I don't know if they're Scientology or not, because this lady's a Scientologist.
What is it?
Can
you send it to me on Messenger and let me look?
Yeah, I lost all my tabs. But the address for it is like an apartment complex. So, and I've messaged them and I said, what do I have to do to report a scammer? Is it? You're in Edmonton? Nico?
And Nico's good about sneaking and going.
Oh, what is it called? Because I lost all my tabs earlier when I restarted the bloody computer. Hang on. I'll just look at it quickly. Because I don't know if they're Scientologists. So I messaged him saying, what do I have to do to report someone that's using your site, your platform to scam people?
Look, Nico said yes. Hey, Teresa, thank you for being here.
Werbelow?
Edmonton has an org. Yeah, it's an
airport. They do? I was trying to work it out because I thought they'd shut down. Is it? Well, how do you spell it? Werbelow. Hang on. Something like that. Oops. Yeah, Werbelow. So it's through them, and I'm trying to figure it out. What's the address for the org? Because I looked where the apartment complex was, and then I actually Google mapped the org, and I did like a map from the org to the apartment building to see if they were close. And I don't know, I'm just trying to figure out if it is a Scientology thing. When I went on Google Maps to look at the org that comes up on there, it's actually hang on. It doesn't look like the pictures that old pictures of the org that I've got, because then I looked at old protest videos and stuff like that to try and figure out what building it is. Like, I like to double check things.
This is just like a Canadian fundraising platform. It's kind of
Okay,
like this and Go or GoFundMe.
yeah, and so she had a GoFundMe, got that taken down, and then like just like chasing her, and shutting it down.
This is another crowdfunding.
Jasper Avenue. Okay, I don't think that's what I had, or was it? Is it like a big white-looking building, kind of white? Oh shit, where's my map's gone now?
Oh yeah, Nico did get them to close their blinds on Lisa McPherson Day.
Awesome. Why am I not? Am I subscribed to you, Nico? I don't think I'm. I think I've got you mixed.
She was live on mine. I streamed her on Mental Health Matters.
You're still here, Journey. Edmonton org. Oh, come in, babe. You can come in.
Hey, Jake. Hey, baby.
All right. You say hello? No.
He always says that, and he says hello. Just give him a minute. He'll tell me hello.
Maybe not with all the people on camera. I don't know. Yeah, it was Edmonton. What's your channel, Nico? I want to make sure I'm following you. In a big professional building. Right. Blake said hi. Oh, that's not what I've got.
Is that the one, Nico?
I've got a different one. Quebec City. I've got a friend in Quebec, actually, who used to work on the cattle ranch with me. Wow, okay. What is it?
Oh, Journey's got the address there. Probably got the wrong one then that came up, because this one just came up.
We're going to finish in a minute.
There it is. This is from a year ago.
Oh, that's different to the one I've got. They must have moved. I don't know how to do that, Servlen fan. Oh, thank you. I wonder if I'm subscribed. Let me check. I probably already.
She said yes. It's fairly new. There was a previous one.
Right. Okay.
So
yeah, figure that out. Let me see if I'm subscribed. I'm subscribed, but the blimmin' bill, the bell's not thingy to all. That's happened.
Oh my God, the way to happiness. Oh Jesus Lord.
Okay, cool.
This one says 10/5/25. That's what you said, right?
Jasper Avenue.
Yeah, Journey. That's it. Let's go to the website. Let me go to the website.
Oh, so it is on the web. Oh, Alberta. Hang on, no. Is Alberta? No. So is Edmonton? I know it sound really silly, but is Alberta in Edmonton? Or Edmonton in Alberta?
Oh, I don't know, because I'm not from Canada, so I can't tell you.
I'm being attacked by a body Thetan.
Yay, Jay.
Oh, thanks for fixing my hair.
It says Edmonton, Alberta.
He's got his shirt on backwards because he doesn't like the tiger.
Is that the one? It's in Edmonton, Alberta, right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Whoa, supersonic.
Yes, Edmonton is in Alberta.
Okay, right. Oh, I don't know why I was thinking it was in Toronto or something. I don't know. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, okay. I didn't accept their cookies, but who knows what they're fixing to do. But I'm on their website now. Might as well look, huh?
It's a whole rabbit hole, isn't it?
Yes, and how well 2, 3, 4 years ago I went down and I've never come out.
All right. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to go because this boy.
I see him. Hey, Jake. You sweetheart. So that word below is a crowdfunding. So.
No, I know, but I want to know who it's run by because I keep shutting down all their GoFundMe things and I keep shutting them down. I'm suspecting because she's actually originally from Canada. She's from Toronto. Oh no, she's from Edmonton, right? So I'm thinking she's had enough of me shutting her down. So she's got a company that won't shut her down. Do you know what I mean? Like someone she knows.
That's what I'm saying. Fundraising for place of worship.
Go on, let me get it in without poking the eye.
Non-profits.
way.
It's just a cloud-based solution for nonprofits,
normal
churches, and religious organizations.
You know, it's time to go when I get the Jakey attack. And he's like,
Y'all remember that word
I
below?
actually quite like them.
Listen, that word below says it's a cloud-based solution for nonprofits, churches, and religious organizations.
Yes. So there's three people. I've been restyled. There's 3 people that run it, and I want to do background checks on them as well. So is they're on Facebook. Oh yeah. Hopefully they're not watching. I don't know. I just need to know. This is the sort of deep dives me and Journey do. We like to make sure.
Oh my gosh, Journey gets going. And it's like,
yeah, we do our detective work, but yeah, and because again, it's another piece of information that has to be added to the FBI report. You know, there's we're adding stuff to the database as we find it and things. So yeah, that's what we need to do. Okay, I had to put up that. Oh Christ!
he's bringing me the cat. Look.
Hello, Bubba. Not enjoying it. Who's this, Tinky? Tinky. all right. I'm gonna have to go, guys. I'm being mobbed.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to the rest of T's story. Thank you for supporting her on this journey. And please,
thank you so much, guys.
Please, whatever you do, please subscribe to T. And if you don't have it to give, we understand it's the holidays, but could you share her GoFundMe?
She's waving.
We're going to get her life back.
Thank you,
She's
Keela.
a beautiful person.
Yeah. My family.
Jake,
this
bye,
is my family.
Bye, Jake.
My family. Say bye. Go away.
That's the kitty cat. I told you.
This is my family.
She's not enjoying it.
She's
he's not in there yet.
She's not enjoying it, and you don't care, right? She's doing it against her will.
He started talking to me last night. It was so sweet. But I love you, and I appreciate you. And thank you.
Love you all.
And thank you all for being
here.
here. And Red, thank you so much. And all the mods, I appreciate every one of you.
I'm lost.
And I will be back on tomorrow to wrap up with our week of mothers. Maybe I can finish mine. I love you all. And thank you so much.
If you need any help doing it, Keela, let me know.
I sure will.
A couple of hours.
I sure will. Love you all.
Real hair. Yes, it's definitely real hair.